Hello, good afternoon. It is Monday, the 19th of May. It's all over, Dave. Goodison is no more for the men's team. We had our day yesterday. I just want to apologise. I got home and developed the worst cold since colds are invented last night, and I'm very nasally, so I can only apologise. I think it's the
sexy phlegm.
I think it's the emotion. I think it all come out of me. To be honest, it definitely picked this up in London, 100%. And all week it was getting, but there you go. Anyway, yesterday, have you recovered?
Just about. Just feel emotionally exhausted, even though I've had 10 hours sleep. Yeah.
Lucky you.
So I think we went out, had something to eat. What was a great day, great send-off, and then just crashed out by 8 o'clock. I was just exhausted.
Done it.
Yeah.
What did you make of the whole thing, like in the morning and obviously the day as a whole?
We had to get out of our taxi to walk up past the Abbey, and it was just berserk. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
And then managed to get up on the wall behind Dixie with me mate's rattle that he's had since he was 7 years old, and he's in his 70s now. So swinging that, and then...
Did he get up on the wall?
No. I lost him in the melee.
Oh,
the whole... Didn't see anyone until I got in. And then that first 15 minutes when we scored, a couple of tears. And then I just settled into it then, but it was just berserk, wasn't it? The emotion, and it was a weird day, surreal. But yeah, what about you?
Yeah, I'm all right. It's I found it weird saying to you before, wasn't I? It was like starting sort of feeling anxious on about Thursday, like it, not over. But I had that like whenever I thought of the game or the day, it was a bit like that feeling, of wanting it over with almost. But yesterday I was fine. I mean, seeing the amount of supporters yesterday morning for the coach welcome, and anyone who's watched me after match stuff will have seen how close I was to the coach, which was incredible. To see that, and I said yesterday a couple of times, just imagine if Everton won something, the estimations of like 100,000 there yesterday. I don't know when people make these estimations, but there was a hell of a lot of people there yesterday.
Well, they couldn't get down Goodison Road, could they, with the coach? That was the proposed route, and it was just jammed. And then after, obviously, people realised the bus gone in, you couldn't walk down Goodison Road because I'm in the Gladys. I had to come out down Spellow Lane and get round. It was just berserk. It was just crazy. I've never seen anything like it. And I've said to you, I can't get it. I'm a season ticket holder. Can't get a ticket to go away from home. And we're rubbish. And we've been rubbish for years. Yeah. And to have that turnout, and you said it before, but it's not for nothing, but you know what I mean? It's
but we haven't won anything.
We haven't won anything. To have even a whiff of a trophy, it's just like, we're just absolutely fanatical, aren't we? We're just waiting to pop.
Yeah.
Just waiting to just burst. And hopefully getting to Bramley Moor will be that catalyst.
It's just so weird, wasn't it? I don't think he could take the enormity or I couldn't anyway, of it yesterday. But just seeing, like I said, seeing so many Blues, young and old, together. Most people had blue on as well, which was incredible. I don't think I've seen a sea of blue like that. So I want to say ever, quite clearly, like when we won the cup, but it was probably like that. And certainly when I was a kid, it felt like everyone turned up to the bus going around with the trophies with Everton tops on, and a few Liverpool tops as well.
Yeah. In
them days, clapping the team. But to see how many people had put blue on yesterday and all that was incredible. And just to look around, and it didn't bring me to tears, but it did give me that. I did have that feeling of just like, you get it right here.
Yeah.
You're talking, this club will explode. People go on about certain clubs winning trophies and all that. What makes you a special club is the fan base being ferociously passionate, and that's what we are.
Yeah.
Other clubs will get success, but our fans are berserk.
Yeah.
We we were saying goodbye to a ground. We were just moving grounds.
Yeah.
That's all we were doing.
Yeah, it's bricks and mortar.
It was like we'd won the treble.
Yeah.
It was just sensational.
When I was sat on the wall, I just had to, and we'll get into it, did just the whole day, but there was just a moment I just had to just rock back. I've showed you the photo, haven't I? The hot walk with the flags, and just try and steal the moment in my mind of take us, you know,
take the
comfort.
picture.
Yeah, take the picture in it. Yeah, just take it in. You know, no phone, no record, no pictures. Right, I took plenty of pictures of the day, and just take the experience in. It was just phenomenal. Never seen anything like it.
I want to say thank you to everybody who come, a lot. Rarely say this, and I don't talk about, but loads of people come up to me yesterday and had photos and spoke to me, congratulated us on the 100k, and they were all lovely.
Yeah,
it was amazing to meet so many Blues from all over the country.
The world
yesterday, just incredible. Everyone was amazing.
I heard Yanks, I heard Irish. We were sat outside the McDonald's after waiting for our Uber, and there was a lad who come over from Jersey who's not been for 4 years, didn't have a ticket.
Yeah. The amount of people who spoke to me and were like, I didn't even get in there, but it was amazing to be here. I was like, wow.
when we were coming on the train in, there was a lad saying how he'd got a kid's ticket and he was just going to try, but he'd been in tears the night before because he'd got the ticket.
That's mad.
You know, there was lads who had paid well over the odds, thousands of pounds for a ticket
to get in.
Yeah, 3 lads had paid $6,000, you know, $2,000 a pop just to get in. It was just.
That's mad. Yeah. Spoke to a lady outside, Thomas, who lives in Maine, in America. Spoke to your mum outside and another member of your family. And she watches us now because of him, because he watches us. Yeah. And we were like speaking, but that, like, she was saying, he feels like a bit of home. And loads of people who were from everywhere were saying that.
Yeah.
You know, and all of that. To see so many people celebrating and being together, and it was obviously a gorgeous day. And it's that moments where you just go, God, I love this club. Yeah. Love it. If we could just have some nice times. We've had a terrible time. Yeah. 5 years of just hardship we've had of just getting whacked from, you know, starting with COVID. Yeah. Well, starting with the Hadjuk curse. Yeah, let's go back. 16 minutes into a game, that's 0-0. Seeing fans pick up an advertisement and launch it onto the pitch for nothing at 0-0. Yeah. And curse us was... and obviously the curse is real. And then obviously going into COVID and all that at a time when we were hoping we were going to be a team that done something. So what followed has been ridiculous. And I think that's why it's been nice the past couple of weeks. You know, it's almost since Moyes said stop bringing Everton down in that press conference after the Leicester game, one of the games recently, a couple of months ago, and then the last 2 weeks have sort of been a bit of a momentum of what has been and what Goodison's been, and positivity, and people in the media, and you guys getting over 100,000, which has just been crazy, and everything's just come together in this sea of positivity to what yesterday was. Yeah, it's just James, were you there?
I never got in the actual stadium, but I was outside of it.
Yeah. And how was it for you, as a man who didn't, unfortunate not to get in?
I was gutted I couldn't get in, but I went paying £2,000 for it. That was a bit of a stretch. But...
And what they pay you here? It's a pittance.
But being outside the stadium, I went to the coach welcomes when it was the Palace ones, and I didn't have a ticket as well. But this one was like triple the amount of people for them. And it was like the blue smoke was just everywhere that you couldn't see anything, and there was fireworks going off. And for it being like 9 in the morning, it was mental. Yeah, it was mad. I mean, I didn't even get to see the coach because it got diverted and all the smoke that I didn't even know it was there until I saw people walking away. I drove out yesterday morning at whatever it was, 10 to 9, 5 to 9, and there's a couple of people in our road, Evertonians, all beat the all, and the missus was like, what are you doing waking the street? It's like, hard day. Got round the corner, there was 3 lads walking down the main road with Everton shops on, didn't know they were, beat the all. They were like, I was like, this is our day.
This is us,
Okay. Don't care, you know. And,
we don't have many days, but we'll have this.
No. Yeah. And it was just that feel. It was like going to a cup final or something. That just shows you it was because it did mean that much yesterday, and the way the day unfolded, and obviously Everton winning the game, which was the to me, it was the most important thing. Was that they signed off with a win.
Yeah.
You know, and it was key as well that we were the last person to score at Goodison was one of our players. That was key as well.
Yeah.
Although Barry Williams, who sits behind me, is taking claim for the last person ever to score the street end in the hit the bar, because he put one in the top corner. But to have an Everton player to score the last ever goal there as well, I think was massively important. People might go, don't be silly. It was.
Yeah.
It was. You know, in the same way it was important we never lost the last ever derby there.
Yeah.
It was. I thought that was key.
What turned out to be a routine win. It's like that first 15 minutes, brilliant first goal. And then I thought we just managed it well. Didn't think we played out of what we needed to. Didn't stretch ourselves at all. Didn't Everton the day up. No, they hit the post and Pickford had to make a good save, but then we just sort of
we did have
didn't
2 goals
stretch ourselves. Yeah, we had, So we, put the ball in there 4 times, 2 counted. Okay, we didn't score in the second half, didn't really overreach, and then I think we just managed the game well, and it was just like I say, routine win, and that's what we haven't been getting the last few years at home. Routine wins,
and that's something we've got to build on, of course. With
absolutely.
Do you know who the last person to score in the Gladys Street was then for Everton? I don't know the answer.
So we got 2 against Ipswich, but they were both in the first half.
Jake O'Brien.
Might have been O'Brien against West Ham. Who did we play?
I thought you would have been prepared.
No, Illiman and Jai against Arsenal, the penalty. Didn't score against City. I think it was in Jai against Arsenal. Penalty spot.
I'm going to say O'Brien.
Like April of
West
I'll
Ham.
fact check it now.
Go on, James, fact check.
Well, your set head just closed. That's all you know. Well, you just
A slight intermission. Yeah, ladies.
It
and
will be
gents.
in die.
In die,
Yeah,
the Arsenal
a penalty. Yeah, that was the last Gladys
There
Street
you
goal.
go.
There you go.
So there's an answer. There's
Take me on.
So he's got both.
Money.
coming to a question of sport.
He's got
Near
both
you.
of them.
And what?
He's got both ends.
Yeah, both ends.
Yeah, he has the last play.
Yeah.
Fair play. Is he on 11 for the season as well?
9, I think.
11 overall.
9 league.
Oh, yeah,
11
9 league,
overall.
9 in the league, yeah. So it'd be nice for him to, even whatever happens at Newcastle, to get a tap in or something down there, or a penalty, and get to double figures, wouldn't it? Be a great first season for him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No assist though, isn't that weird?
That's weird, yeah.
I would have thought he would have got at least a few.
He doesn't. He's not someone who goes past plays and like squares it for someone to tap in, no, is he?
But a big, like, sort of, I don't know, so people have had a go at him for is that he doesn't take a shot all the time. So you'd sort of assume he would have got like at least 1 or 2.
Yeah. But he
It's
did
like a
have a
lucky
couple
one.
of shots yesterday, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, obviously the
In this
goal.
modern day world of assists as well, where you pass a square on the halfway line and get an assist. Yeah, it's a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey,
But he's put the ball in the net.
put the ball in the net,
and
all that
obviously
matters.
both from open play yesterday, which was a big thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Stephen Richardson says, so looking forward to this broadcast after yesterday's tears and emotional footage on TV. And JL23 says, I'm still buzzing from yesterday. An atmosphere like I've never experienced before.
Yeah.
I
Go
just
along
wish
with
we can build on it and have something again, because the fan base deserves it.
Well, just on building on it as well, it was good that Moyes put it on the owner's toes in his speech. I did enjoy that.
That's what he does.
Yeah,
That's what he does.
and rightly so.
But I think what he was trying to say was, look at what you've seen today.
Yeah,
Look at it with nothing.
with nothing.
Imagine if you invested properly in it.
Package it up and look what you can get.
Carl Byron says, great atmosphere and occasion. Beto and Jai seemed the most up for it. McNeil seemed like he took some opium before the game. Lazy work rate.
Come on. It's not the time to moan. It's a celebration.
Yeah,
We can moan.
you're absolutely
Maybe
right.
we will. Yeah.
Yeah, but what
Is there anything that let you down yesterday, or that could have been a bit better? I'll just give you mine. I was surprised that Kevin Ratcliffe wasn't there as our most successful captain. Thought that was a little bit of a...
I wasn't.
You weren't surprised,
No.
or you weren't?
Oh, absolutely should have been there.
Yeah.
But absolutely should have been there at the premiere of Howard's Way, and he wasn't.
Yeah.
For the same reason,
Yeah.
I imagine. So
Yeah.
doesn't get on with
Other people.
other people
Other people,
in the squad,
yeah.
and therefore, whatever, it's obviously important to him.
Yeah.
and he doesn't feel like he can do it, which is a shame. It's a massive shame.
That's it.
'Cause he should have been there.
The only thing, a bit of a shame
He
for
should
me.
have been there.
Yeah.
Let me down. No, it's.
Anything that could have been better
I
then,
think
rather
the
than let down.
sound system at Goodison was terrible.
Yeah.
I wish Rossi had realised it's Abdullah Decore, not Abdullah Decore.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting
I
names
wish
right
that-
is a bit of a.
That's it. It seems like a basic.
Yeah.
I wish that we would have been able to hear all the artists he was singing.
Yeah.
I wish that maybe we'd have had a couple of higher profile artists as good as the people who've done it were. But no,
List that, innit? After you bumming and ahhing.
I'm let down. I think when you've got people who are performing, I think you have to make sure the sound system works. Like, and I'm not a technician, and Everton might say we sound tested that for 3 days and it was perfect. Right, anything can go wrong on the day, of course. But it was a little bit of a shame that especially the lad at the street end, who was trying to sing Spirit of the Blues, and he couldn't hear the first bit of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That was a little bit. That's obviously not very good for him.
No.
But for all I know, he couldn't hear that. We couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not an artist. So
Yeah.
and you have to pick the earpiece. So I don't know what you can hear. You probably playing.
Violinist was good.
Violinist was incredible.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And I thought that
Shout out to her, by the way.
fella
She was
on the trumpet or whatever it was he played.
Oh, yeah.
Just that one key went just slightly off, but I thought he was brilliant as well.
Yeah.
On the half, I thought he was really good.
Yeah.
And that was quite just something about hearing one instrument in a full stadium playing. That's quite
symbolic,
melodic, poignant, all of that stuff as it's playing. Like the violin was quite moving, but so was I don't know what it was. It some I apologise to musicians who were like, "An idiot, you don't know it." Whatever it was, the silver thing that he was playing.
Ukulele,
I'm gonna say the trumpet. It's probably the word French horn or something.
The trumpet fella.
I know the names of things. I just don't know what they are.
Yeah.
I thought he played that brilliantly.
Umani Aspie in there.
Another highlight. Yeah.
What a
big
G.
one.
Thomas Radzinski, although Jones got his name a bit longer.
What a shock. Yeah.
Mark Pembridge.
Yeah.
One for the ages.
Mark Ward.
Wardy.
Yeah.
Huge Evertonian or Wardy.
Yeah.
No, it was. Listen, I thought the players thing were brilliant. It was great to see all of the players. I thought it was a little bit sad to see Joe Royal not be able to walk around.
Not good on his feet, is he? And that was just
the thing. But it was great that he was there. Yeah. Obviously, he had a little interview with Tony Bellew.
Someone said flugelhorn.
Is that what it is? The flugelhorn.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I'm not. Forgive me if I don't
get that?
take that perfect.
Well, that was the next thing I was going to say.
This is
What
next
did you
guess.
think of the flugelhorn?
The flugelhorn in particular was a
Literally sounds like a left back we should be buying this summer.
yeah
Mark
flying,
Flugelhorn.
yeah Germany
In German, flying up and down,
yeah
whipping crosses in.
yeah the and when he interviewed him, Tony Bellew, because of all the singing,
Yeah,
you couldn't really hear what Joe was saying, which was a bit sad. And again, I'm sure it was good at home and that sound bit and whatever. But
Yeah.
we
I'm sure the club
crowd.
I'm sure the club will put them things out as well for us to watch as well.
Yeah,
so.
it was just a bit sad that he can't get around, especially with other people who were just like they've aged like a pair. And I know I've seen them 10 years ago, but you think a lot of these memories, you think you've only seen them yesterday.
Oh, Kale looked like he still could be playing,
Yeah,
didn't he?
yeah,
And Jermaine Beckford,
yeah.
he looked in good nick as well, didn't he? Dunk. Thought that was quite funny. The Duncan Rooney.
Very passionate Ferguson, wasn't he?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Bossy was Duncan.
Yeah.
Rooney, I thought Rooney was good as well. And the crowd singing his name and singing Manchester's full of.
Yeah.
And him responding the way he did, I thought that was quite funny. And then obviously the crowd come back singing his name again. I thought they were great little touches.
Yeah, it's them interactions, isn't it, with the fans, rather than letting it be performative.
Yeah.
It was.
Would you have had, do you think it needed the music stuff? Or do you think it would have been just good enough just having the player stuff? Or what? I mean,
subjective, isn't it? I mean, they put a lot of the fan involvement was players singing.
Yeah.
Sorry, fans
No,
singing
fans
about
singing
the
about the
players.
of course, because that's what
You know,
Goodison is.
almost the interviews and that was like secondary because them real good striking interviews, like in Howard's Way.
Yeah.
You know, when it's 1-on-1, you think, you know, when we were saying when Bayern Munich scored, was it Andy Gray?
Andy Gray.
Oh no, it was sorry, Andy Gray. It was Dave. Dave, who was on it, who's been in here.
Oh, Dave Freely.
Dave Freely, yeah. When he said it, the noise, and then it went to that.
Yeah.
When he does that, and I think that is a brilliant picture.
Yeah.
And then when Trevor Stevens says he's just faced with the Gladys, so I think them one-on-one interviews have their place. I don't think it was particularly necessary to have that on the pitch.
Really? Oh,
when the fans are all singing their names, Rooney's trying to talk, and everyone's, you know.
Yeah.
And Duncan, there was a back and forth.
Yeah.
So where there's that good back and forth, it's
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
So maybe there wasn't a place for but I certainly enjoyed, like you say, the violinist and
The violinist was incredible.
and the flugelhorn.
The flugelhorn.
Yeah.
Flugelhorn's tremendous.
Yeah.
Bob the Blue said it was weird to be in the away end for the first time in 50 years. Never realised the park end was so loud. I made it. What were you doing in the away end, Bob?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know what you were doing in the away end.
Yeah.
Spoke to a couple of Southampton fans outside the ground. Actually, one lad who took a picture for us, actually, for all of us. It was his first ever visit to Goodison.
Wow.
And he was like, I'm so excited to be here. He'd been at Main Road. They were the last team to play at Main Road.
Yeah.
He said, we won 1-0 that day.
Yeah.
You know, and we were like, but you won't be winning today.
No.
I was saying it, sort of going, you won't be winning today. Thinking, please don't be winning
Crossing
today.
Everton. Yeah.
I have a question for you both.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So you know when people were doing the chants, but they were going back to like the old chants
Yeah.
of like feed the yak and stuff.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
have any that were like your particular favourites that you were glad you were singing again? And like
I always liked
Revert to Had a Dream and stuff.
And we love our Gary Stevens.
Yeah.
We love-
Yeah.
I like that one because that reminds me of being a kid, because that was what we used to sing. I did like hearing like Roberto Had a Dream and Feed the Yak and, you know, Duncan Van
Fellaini's one.
Fellaini. Obviously sung Mikel Arteta's song, The Best Little Spaniard We Know. So I thought it was good, you know, Timmy KL, but he was singing that as he was walking down,
It was just good to
I
go
thought
through
it was
that
a lovely.
repertoire.
I thought the street end were brilliant. Second half, when Everton were just managing the game, and the Gladys Street was singing like a lot of these songs, I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
I thought the crowd was sensational yesterday. I did. They were the takeaway. You know, you have all the stuff on the pitch. It was lovely seeing the play. I love seeing the players. And she was there, you know, love all that. Great to see Cahill and people like that, but the big takeaway for me was the crowd. The crowd before with the coach welcome, and then the crowd in Goodison Park with singing and spinning the scarves and all of that. It was like so.
Didn't allow it to become flat at any point.
It was
did they, which
so
was good.
upbeat.
Because they allowed
Even
the
though
game.
the game was a bit rubbish second half, because it was.
Well, they allowed the game to just be almost secondary, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was just something that was going on because it was for us, and we just kept it going.
I think everyone remembered that, didn't they?
Yeah.
Everyone sort of ran with that. It's for us, this.
Yeah.
And
The players just played the game rather than the occasion,
Yeah.
which I'm glad they did. And then it just became, like you say, James, just going through the repertoire of all them old songs, which I just thought was brilliant.
it'll be missed, won't it?
Yeah.
It will be missed.
Yeah.
You know, we're moving to an unbelievable place, because it is. You know, the Hill Dickinson Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But we're moving to that. But Goodison Park, sensational. Days like yesterday, just show it.
Yeah.
Just show it.
Yeah. And I think I know it was announced last week, but I'm kind of torn on the women going there.
Okay.
You know, for yesterday.
Mm.
Because you don't want it to, one, I don't want it to become a relic.
Yeah.
Two, it's in a state of disrepair, really. The facilities aren't modern. And I don't really want the women having hand-me-downs. You want them to be at all modern facilities and the way it's going. You know, they deserve better than that. Plus, you don't want to see, like, the attendances that drop into, like, 500 people as they've been getting 1,000, 2,000. It's just, you want that to be still alive as you remember it.
Yeah.
It's, so we'll see how it goes, and I know there's plans for it, so it'd be nice for people to still be able to go back, and how they're being able to manage their own thoughts if they've not been able to go yesterday.
Yeah.
But you just don't want it to become just falling apart, just to let the women play there, because everyone deserves better.
Yeah.
And, we're moving for a reason. We should all move. So let's just make sure that we do.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I've just mentioned it there, but obviously Everton announced on Friday that they've agreed a naming rights partner with Hill Dickinson, the Liverpool solicitor international law firm now as it is.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of your take on that?
Local firm. I think the synergies going back through history.
Yeah.
It's staggering.
Yeah.
Some people were telling me yesterday stuff I didn't know, and it's lucrative, massively lucrative. One of the biggest in Europe.
Yeah.
So it's when cash is king, and we haven't had it.
Yeah.
The top end, or the two top end ones are 30 and 20 million in Europe. After that, it's more around the 5 to 13 million mark. If we're getting anywhere near that, then it's a good deal. And the way it's being managed by the new owners, we'll see how we get on. They've got a good deal. It's a local one.
Keep talking.
Who else did people want? If they're moaning about it, it'd be good to know some opinions. But if we've got the best option it's got synergy back to our roots, then why not?
Yeah,
I'm never going to call it that. So,
no.
But I don't call Goodison.
No.
I'm going the ground. I'm going the match.
Going the match. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've never.
I'm not really.
I wouldn't have called it the Amazon Arena, the Apple Arena, the Qatari Airways, the Toyota. I'd never called it that.
Yeah.
It would have been I'm going to match.
Yeah.
I'm going the ground. There would have been a lot of some of those firms. There would have been negative connotations with them. That they can't be with this because it's a law firm. Everton solicitors, when I worked there, they were Everton solicitors. Obviously they took over Cuff Roberts, Wilf Cuff, who big part of Everton's history, formed that law firm.
Yeah.
There is all of these weird little bits of synergy that have gone with it. So it's obviously a local firm. It's that area is about local regeneration.
Yeah.
So again, that sort of plays into it. And
exactly.
We've been going on and moaning about Everton being more savvy, wanting more financial clout. They've gone and signed one of the biggest naming rights deals, and certainly the biggest in the Premier League. I'm third or fourth biggest in Europe. So to me, I just go, it is what it is.
Yeah. We've got all them local synergies we just talked about. Plus, we're getting a boatload of cash.
Exactly.
What are people gonna?
That puts a winger on the pitch, mate, who's fast for me. Then I'm all good with it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, and like people were saying, call it the full HD stadium.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or whatever. But I've got to be honest. I've been quite surprised by some people's take on it. The comments I've seen from people.
Oh, really?
Like what? Why are you this upset? I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Don't get it.
Yeah.
People are being more upset with that than Sean Dyche's terrible performances in the first half. Genuinely. It blows my mind. But that's footy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what we're there for, aren't we? We're there for opinions. That's what football is. It's all opinions, and everyone has a slightly different take on things. But
I think you've got to go back and you've got to separate yourself from the emotion of it and go, what do you want? You want a naming rights deal that you think is either morally or ethically clean in most areas, and you want a load of money.
Yeah.
Well, and local. Okay, so there's 4. Yeah, Tottenham haven't got a naming deal.
No.
It's bigger than Arsenal's Emirates one. you know, there's just some people are just moan for moaning's sake.
Just that.
I don't get it.
It is what it is. And like you said, I say go on the mat anyway, or go on the ground. I don't say I'm off to Goodison Park for the day. See you later.
Yeah.
If I spoke like that, it'd be a bit weird.
I was going to say, yeah.
But therefore, I'm going to match. That's what I'm going to match.
Yeah.
What are you doing today? I'm off the match. Or I'm going to the ground. What time are we getting the ground? And let's be honest, even if it was the Toyota Gulf Arena, Evertonians, my opinion, Evertonians would have been saying, go to Bramley Moor.
Yeah.
No matter who it is.
Yeah.
And given there's no company called Bramley Moor that are going to give Everton £10 million a year for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll always be sort of called that.
Look at some of the long names, like up and down the football league, like Brentford, isn't it called the G-Tech Sports Community Arena?
Yeah.
No one's calling it that.
No.
What's the Wrexham one called? Stoke K-Ras? No one's calling it that. So just think about what we've signed up to and what we're getting.
For you, moving slightly on from that, is this like the sort of first indication for you that Everton commercially are gonna be better? Obviously, we've got the Friedkin group who've bought the club, and they're very much. It's gonna be Angus Kinnear that runs it. I think we know that. It's very much the CEO is going to run the club for them.
Yeah.
But obviously, everything will have to go up. You know, Everton have played in a certain level commercially.
A poor level.
Not very good.
Yeah.
Not very good, John.
Rubbish.
John Blaine gave me some numbers last week of what the commercial revenue was about 10 years ago and what it is now. It's shocking.
Yeah.
It's shocking. In fact, in some cases, it's gone down. The numbers, I think, have grown a little bit, but comparatively with what everything else is, it's actually shrunk, I think, or it's near enough.
Yeah.
So therefore, to get sort of this name and rights deal in, obviously, none of us, I think a lot of us would prefer a different sponsor, wouldn't we, on the front of our kit. But they're the sponsors of the kit because they pay the most money. Yeah. And we all want better. We want better footballers. Yeah. Don't we? We want the team to improve. And Everton have got to commercially now try to catch up with some of these people who are blowing us out the water. Clubs who shouldn't be. I mean, Leeds United's revenue compared to ours is way bigger. And how can that happen? Yeah. A team that's never won any, or hasn't won anything forever. Won a league. Fair play. It won a first division title in 92, wasn't it? 92, 91, 92. Before then, hadn't won anything for 20 odd years, and then whatever it is. You know, a lot of time has been in the lower leagues rather than the top flight. Yeah, we spend more time out the top flight than in it. And their revenue's way more than Everton. Yeah. So how can that be? Yeah. You know, and we need someone. Hopefully, Angus is going to come in and go, this is pathetic. Yeah. This has to be up here. Or the Friedkins, maybe, and they've looked at and give Angus that director to go, you got to drag this from here to here. Yeah. You know? Are you a bit more confident that stuff may happen now because of where we are and what we're seeing so far? Yes and no. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with no first. Let's start. Okay. No, based on yesterday. Okay. And I think yesterday was a prime opportunity to monetize the fan base, and almost like this is the most match day revenue we've taken ever and set records and all this. Yeah. And the Gladys Street ran out of beer. And they could have put a screen in Stanley Park. They could have put stalls everywhere. They could have, Everton is on sale in Everton 1. They could have put shirts for a tenner. They could have put beers and fruit shoots for the kids, £2. They could have made all sorts of money, and they didn't. Okay. So there's things like that are hang-ups that probably from the old regime that would say, this is like you just said there about it needs to jump. Yeah. I want Angus to get a hold of that now and just come at it and say, yesterday's commercial output was just rubbish. You had 100,000 estimate people there, and your match day is what it was 4 weeks ago when you played Ipswich. There's no difference. So
why are you not monetizing this fanatical fan base to the edge of what it can get to? Because it is waiting just to pop. It's not winning anything. You're being rubbish, and you've got people falling over themselves to get in that ground. Why are you not charging putting, them lot across the park? They put a sticker on a piece of dog shit and people would be flying out the stores. You know what I mean? It's just, I just find it incredulous that the club said stay after, get a drink, and you couldn't get a drink. So things like that, really, we undersell ourselves so much. Like, we don't want to get out of our own way to make money. Like, we're scared of our own fans, and it could have been a big, and we could have encouraged people to go right after the ground. Here's a big carnival type event in Stanley Park.
Yeah.
And it could have been on TNT, and they could have gone from when the goal was scored from Goodison to that lad I said from Jersey before. He said he was outside the ground listening to it on a wireless. Yeah. On a wireless. On a radio. For the goal.
And everyone celebrated.
While everyone
street,
celebrated, he's come over.
Yeah.
Just have a little bit of, progressive thinking about where we can get. So, big tick in the box for the naming deal.
Yeah.
How much Angus has had to do around that, we don't know. Yeah. But surely that's where the benchmark starts, and let's just accelerate that. Yeah. Because there is a big space now for, outdoor arena around that. Sell everything, sell what you can. And then we don't have to have steak or whatever your hang-ups are around Castore or whoever. Yeah. Because we're making all this money off our own fans. Have decent ranges of stuff. For stuff like this, stuff the Beto top stuff like that is brilliant. It'll be snapped up. You go in Everton 1 and it's rubbish. Yeah, Everton has just got to come up 3 or 4 rungs to comparable numbers to what you and John looked at the other day. Yeah. Because at the moment,
and people will buy it, Mum.
Yeah, of course they will. Yeah.
People will buy it. People want to buy it.
We don't want plastic stuff with, big slogans or like that. You want like little subtle things and range and classic shirts and, retro shirts are a big sort of almost like social now. You see, concerts and artists performing and with PSG shirts and things like that, and it's become cultural and ingrained. Get on that bandwagon and just sell ourselves. And we've got the Americans do it better than anyone else. Yeah. So let's get on that ride.
Yeah. Call us straight because I can't breathe. Okay. Well, do you just want to come on for 10 minutes while I just sub? I'll be back in a minute. I just need to. People are asking if you're still alive.
There we go. And now introducing Peter McPartland on this slight segue.
Thank you, David. Hello,
Peter.
I am. Know what? Right.
Oh, don't shout.
No. I need to get my voice up so I can bring it down.
Ah, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like hungover, but I didn't have a drink yesterday.
Yeah. Emotionally hungover.
Yeah. Because the day started very, very early for me. Very well, early for everyone, but it's like extra early for me.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Why did you run down?
No, I did that on Saturday. I
was seeing that live.
10 miles on Saturday. I went down the ground and it was roasting. Yeah. But it was brilliant.
So, Peter, how did you find yesterday?
Up and down. Yeah. I'm with you, Dave. They've gone out the room. I can say what I want.
Let's be positive about this.
No, it was a brilliant day. It was a brilliant day. It was an absolutely brilliant day.
Yeah.
Honestly, brilliant day. Got there at was by Dixie by 9 o'clock. Couldn't believe how busy it was. Well, could believe how busy it was. Sorry, you just say that. You say that, don't you? That's just an expression.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. I can't believe the police didn't close the roads. That was just ridiculous. Lorries, proper. That road leads into town. Yeah. And up these flanks, obviously everyone knows. Yeah. It's got huge lorries coming up and down it, and there's kids in the road, and there's nowhere the police. And the only time you saw the police was when 4 riot vans come past.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. It was crazy. There was lorries, cars, people would have been. Why didn't they just block the roads?
Do
you know, next week, I'm pretty sure roads will be blocked next week.
Yeah.
Maybe on the Saturday or on the Sunday or the Monday. So the roads weren't blocked. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So that was just really poor, I thought.
So do you know, just on this, right? This is really simple to do, right? Because I work in telecoms and for a number of years, right? Yeah. So all you have to do is apply to the council for a TTRO, right? Which is a temporary traffic restriction order, and you can do that, or you can apply for a road closure. Now, depending on what you want closed, that can be done anywhere between 3 and 6 months in advance to get that done. So it just requires someone with half a brain to go, there's that application to the council. I'll chase that up. I'll do this. I'll work with the council. That's all it requires.
Yeah.
And it's dead simple. And that is that, like you say, it puts the health and safety at risk by having trucks rock up there. And there was still people coming up Speller Lane when you couldn't get near Dixie. You've seen what it was like. Everyone's seen the photos, the videos, the whatnot.
Yeah. It was that side of it was like really, really poor. That it was almost like, once again, they've not realised what was going to happen. Like, you can say to people, oh, don't turn up. That was never going to happen. That was never going to happen. Why did people expect that of, like, that Liverpool fans are going to turn up? Why did you think Everton fans are not going to turn up? Because it doesn't happen very often. Well, that's another reason why it was going to happen, because it doesn't happen very often.
Well, I've just said there's people, Baz seen people from America, I'm sure you did, people from Jersey, people from Ireland, wherever.
Yeah, it was incredible. I seen people from everywhere. It just felt a little bit like it felt. But what was good was the emotions came from the actual being at Goodison Park. It didn't need the stuff afterwards. Didn't really create emotions, because the emotions had already been spent on the day itself organically. You mentioned before, like, the Gladys, it was amazing how like we were singing all the old songs, like, and it didn't matter what, like, Martinez and Arteta and Richarlison, it doesn't matter where they are now, or Romelu Lukaku. It doesn't matter. Oh, he's a manager of Arsenal, he plays for this team, or Martinez is here. It felt, who cares?
There was no personal hang-ups.
No, there was like, everyone was loving it when the messages were going up. That was when actually a bit of annoying, that, because the messages were on the screen and people were going for a drink, or they weren't going for a drink. They were trying to get a drink.
They were trying to get a drink, yeah.
There was all those messages, and the messages were brilliant. And I hope Everton stick those out.
Yeah,
because those messages were brilliant.
It's on YouTube.
Who was the fella who looked like Groucho Marx?
That was Ryan Coogler.
Was it?
Yeah, that was Ryan Coogler.
Oh, right.
Couldn't hear him, but
no.
They put it on YouTube this morning.
Yeah, it was Ryan Coogler, who was the director of
Black Panther.
But obviously Creed,
yeah,
and obviously Tommy Bell.
Hey, we're in Creed. I'm in Creed.
But all in Creed, aren't we?
Were you in a Hollywood film, James?
It's in my IMDb.
No. Wait, no, I think I was, actually.
No, you weren't.
It was either that or the other. The other thing that's a bit more sad.
If you have to think about that question, you weren't in it.
Yeah.
There was
Go on, what were you going to say?
There was another thing that they recorded the crowd for that was a bit more sad, weren't they? I don't know if it was that or that.
Okay. I don't know what you're talking about, James.
We'll just skip past it.
No, I don't like skipping past things. I want you to articulate what you're talking about.
I don't remember filming for anything else.
I don't remember.
Didn't they do it for like that series they done about the lad who was the Everton fan?
Little Boy Blue.
Yeah.
Little Boy Blue. I don't
remember them filming that.
They recorded the crowd for that, didn't they?
Did they?
I think so.
I think they recorded
for West Ham.
Wasn't that Liverpool?
Don't know.
I don't recall. I don't know. I don't remember it. And this is probably not the.
What do you think about the money?
I don't want to let Baz come back in.
Yeah.
Don't have an energy drink, Ped.
Do. Welcome back.
I'm back.
Larry Cass.
I had to breathe, mate. I couldn't breathe.
See the way I went full Rossi there, called you Larry?
I know, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it, to be honest. Me and Dave will be on, so Truman and Ped and John are going to be on, because I think it's there's a lot to talk about from yesterday, isn't it? Lots of things went on, but just to the team, Dave, obviously, we got the job done. 2 wins on the run as well, away at Fulham last week, and a victory. Like you said before, if Palace can avoid defeat by Wolves tomorrow night at Selhurst Park, and there's going to parade the FA Cup and all that, so, for them, they should be looking to follow that win up with it.
Well, what's the phrase that we used after the derby last year when we played Brentford? What was it?
I don't know. I was in America.
What's that phrase, Ped? What was something you said after the Lord?
The Lord Mayor's show.
After the Lord Mayor's show. Yeah, it might be a bit like that for Palace.
A few people who I was speaking to yesterday were adamant there's 0 chance Palace are winning.
Yeah.
It's like they'll all be pissed there's 0 chance.
Yeah.
I don't see it like that.
Don't you?
Final home game. And you can play the only trophy they've ever won. That gets the crowd electric. And they'll give them players an extra.
That Palace crowd on Saturday, by the way.
You know, they were brilliant, maybe. So,
yeah.
And I think that tomorrow night will be the same at Selhurst Park.
Yeah. My mate was there as well.
I remember in 1984 we paraded the FA Cup against Spurs on the opening day. We'd won the FA Cup. We beat Liverpool at Wembley in the Charity Shield.
Yeah.
Turned up with my dad, sat in the lower Bullens. They'd run round with the FA Cup before we started. Agent Heath put us 1-0 up, the penalty. And we got beat 4-1. Got absolutely, John Chidozie absolutely destroyed us.
Well, just on Palace, my mate went, so shout out to Dan. And I texted him and he said he was crying. He was full of tears. And he said, amazing, like ride out 95, he put back to me. So I thought that was a nice touch when I said, just make sure you enjoy it.
I cried at the end of that. Never cried, ever.
What, when Palace won?
Yeah. Never cried at a football match.
Why isn't it us? Yeah.
But when ride out that day when we won the FA Cup in 95, for some reason.
Too young to take it all in.
It was mad.
But the team anyway.
So as long as Palace avoid defeat, that's Everton 13th done, which is a incredible achievement for David Moyes. You know, I'm someone who will always insist that Everton should be a team that can get in the Champions League and win league titles. And I know that people will laugh at that, but that's my Everton.
Yeah.
You know, and I think if we as a fan base go, well, we're just really a lower echelon Premier League team, we don't win it. If we lose them values and them the hit, we got it all put out in front of us yesterday. There was a flag. You'll have seen outside the hot walk with all of our trophies on.
Yeah, I've got a blinding picture of it. Yeah.
There's them players on that pitch who've won everything.
Yeah.
Between them, part of the European Cup or other stuff. That's us. That's Everton. That's in our DNA.
Yeah.
The fans are fans who should be witnessing trophies. And we have to drive the football club trying to get back to that level.
Yeah.
Who knows whether we will, but we have to drive it. You just mentioned Crystal Palace. Never won a trophy in their life, but they have now.
Yeah.
Okay, Newcastle haven't won a trophy for 70-odd years. In my lifetime, never won a trophy.
Yeah.
70-odd years. Lots of people's lifetimes. Never won a trophy. I've won one this season. Okay, they've done it a bit different with money, but they've done it. We've got some money, so can we do it right? So that team that Moyes has transformed, and he has, unbelievable from the other fella. We know we need to build on it now.
Yeah.
But if you extrapolated what Moyes has done in these 18 games across a full season, it's 55 to 60 points, which could get you European football.
He's lost 4 games.
4 in 18.
So imagine losing 8 games.
And he's lost to Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea and Aston Villa.
Yeah.
They were all probably going to be in the Champions League next season.
Yeah.
Villa's, it's on a knife edge.
Well, and City are on a knife edge.
But you look and go, and lost them all narrowly. You know, City was 2, I don't know how they won the game 2-0. I'll never know.
No.
Tarky stays on, they don't win the game.
Yeah.
End of story.
Yeah.
So, and Newcastle, we might lose the 5th. We may well lose at Newcastle, but if we do, it's another team that's in the Champions League.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah. Really, you're losing to the top 5.
Exactly. So you look at it like that, and ironically, we didn't lose to the runners-up in either game, home or away.
No.
This season.
Yeah.
But he's done enough for me to go, you know what? We'll be all right next year. So what do we have to do this close season now for you?
Pace and power all over the pitch is what we don't have.
No.
Even the centre of that park, there's no power there, is there?
No, not
as such. It'll burn him in flashes, but he's still young. He needs to go up and, either.
What would you do with him? Because he was coming on yesterday, wasn't he? And then obviously Jared got injured.
Yeah.
So we had to sit back down.
I like him, but there's no experience for playing games. So
not for a sustained period.
He's only just 20, is he?
21.
21. Would it be the worst thing if he goes out and plays another 30 games, either abroad or?
I think he's played 32 games for QPR when he was 19 in the Championship.
Yeah.
So I don't really think for his development sending him back there will do him any good.
No.
He's played for Villa in Europe some games, and he's played obviously for us this season. Thought he was excellent at the start of the season. Like,
yeah,
really
I agree.
good.
Yeah,
he's not quite made those levels since he come back, but obviously he was out for a while. But I think that's an interesting point. I think if Everton could get, I always go to this like Marcel Brands, can't wait to take our players. But
yeah.
But if you could do that kind of loan where Irabunum went to say PSV, which is obviously a top team in Holland, and played every week, you know, Germany maybe on loan, whatever, and got himself the sort of Jared Brandtwaite loan of playing a lot of games, playing in Europe and that. I think it'd do him the world of good. I'm the same at Yusuf Chimiti.
Yeah, I think just on, before we move to Yusuf, I think Irabunum's got that type of build where two players I look at Napoli, Anguissa, who was at Fulham, and now McTominay, with that physical power, you know, and can get past people and get on the end of stuff. Yeah, because I don't think he's quite ready. I don't think he's going to sit. I think he'd be a number 8.
No, he'd see.
He'd get up and down. He can go past people. He can do whatever.
Yeah.
Look at the way.
Can't sit.
Look at them. The way that them two have done it at Napoli, and there'll be other players. You know, we get players in this in your chat all the time. Baz, have you seen him?
Yeah.
He's that type of player who can go to them leagues and do that and make a big impact. And I think that'd be really good for him. And then we just come on to Chimiti, and it's just he's not played games. Has he not played any games?
Has he shown enough for you? Whenever I say I like the look of him, other people are like, I'm not sure, I've not seen anything. But I think in flashes he's looked like he's got something. He's a big lad. Yeah. He can move. He's good on the ball.
Yeah.
But I don't think, as much as I like to be greedy and go, I want him on the bench here, I don't think we're really helping him. I think because
he's missed 2 years of his development by not playing.
If he stays, and he's only 20 now, I think, or tomorrow, it's around now, isn't it? He's become 21, doesn't he, in the next couple of days, is it?
Yeah, 24th of May, he turns 21.
So he turns 21. If he was in our under 21s, people would be going lauding him because he'd scored all sorts of goals.
Yeah, which he has done.
So if I'm Everton, you've got to make that decision with him. You've got to look at him and go, does he develop training with us every day? Again, it all depends what we do with our strikers. I'm not convinced we can. I wouldn't like to see us go with 2 strikers next season. As in
4-4-2? Or
no,
as in
squad? Just having 2 in the squad.
Right, yeah.
You know, I mean, the manager put Beto and Dom together yesterday. It didn't really work, did it? Although Beto gave Dom a chance and he should have just hit it, and he didn't. He tried to take a touch.
Yeah.
I know what's happening with Calvin-Lewin, I have no idea. Thought he was gone, and then I didn't know if he would stay. I don't know. We might see him again, we might not. I want us to bring one in regardless.
Yeah.
I said last week, and I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm not convinced letting Beto go is the right answer. Right
if he gets 1 next week, he's got 1 in 2 starts.
In a team that doesn't score goals.
Or create chances with no width or pace.
Yeah.
It's not bad, is it?
For me, he's a squad striker. I accept that.
I'm with you. I think you've said it a couple of times that football has gone away, with the most notable exception being Haaland, and they're coaching it out of him at the moment by the way they play him, of actually remembering what a striker is, and that's to score goals. I always remember when Diak come and he was dropped by Moyes, if you remember rightly, and I think it might have been Villa, we got beat and he had to go with him in the dressing room, and the Yak said to him, the word that Borough was, the Yak doesn't run, ball in the box and he'll be in the net. And invariably it was. And we've gone away from thinking that your striker's there to score goals, and he is a goal scorer. So
I think highlight the pressure for the striker to do a lot more than that is when your team hasn't got good players around him, good enough players to do the other stuff for him.
Yeah.
Beto's got to spend the summer working on his touch again. It's got to.
But from where he was
to where he is, I actually thought his hold-up play was quite good yesterday.
His passing was decent as well.
There's a couple of times he pulled one off the sky in the second half, flicked it over, gave a great pass to McNeil, who was like
fell over,
asleep or something, and the ball bounced out. He switched the play really well. He put one through to Dom. He should have done better. It's not perfect, you know.
He chased one down off Ramsdale and put it back to Decore, and it was a poor finish.
Done all that. So I think for me, I'm a bit reluctant to let a lad who's got double figures to walk out the door in a team that doesn't score goals.
Yeah.
But I do accept we need.
He's got to be one of
we
three.
Need better. And therefore, if that's the case and Calvert-Lewin's going, you're buying in. They want Liam Delap, I'm sure. I want Emmanuel Omega or Tierno Barry. I think those two are good lads.
Yeah.
I think could improve us big time.
Yeah.
Then maybe you do need another one who's a loan, maybe, just for a year while you go. We'll let Chimiti go.
Yeah.
The idea is Chimiti comes back and he's ours then. He's had a year, he scores double figures, whatever, plays a lot
goals,
of games.
He's ready,
Yeah. He comes back into the mix then.
Yeah.
And then you might go in 12 months, we're letting the loan go and we're selling better because he's got a year left and he's 28 and he's
just
all
makes
right,
sense.
but you know, that kind of thing. That is, if I was trying to plan perfectly, that would be the route I'd take.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, totally.
Can we have a bit more? Well, I just, you know.
I got a... Mr. God. Can't even get me words out. I'd be letting him go on loan, Schmitty, without a doubt, because he just needs to play games. He's not played enough senior football.
No, not at all. I think James worked out. He's started about 7 or 8 games, but for Everton, when you add all his minutes up, it's just over 2 games.
I think
he's got about 23 appearances, but it works out 2 games.
Yeah, but I think some of them appearances are actually in the Bristol Street whatever cup.
Oh, okay. Because it's classed as
a fit as a senior game. Beto's got a couple of them as well from last season. They don't count. Right. Any youth football, you just put that in the bin.
Yeah.
So he needs.
But even with that, what we're saying is, even with that, it worked out at 2 games.
Yeah.
He's been here 2 years.
No, exactly. Yeah, I think he might. Again, he wasn't getting on yesterday, was he? He hasn't really had a sniff. No. He got on. He came on the West Ham.
Well, since then, he's played 295 minutes.
He's played what?
295 now, so it's just over 3 games in total.
With everything.
No good.
Yeah.
No good.
Yeah, which is no good, is it?
So I've seen little flashes, but he's not had a start since Brentford last year.
No. That's the only start he's had.
Yeah. So, and then before that, his last start would have been the season before we signed him for Sporting.
He played 45 minutes at Doncaster, if you remember, in the Carabao Cup, and he got taken off at half time. I think that might have been his Everton debut.
Yeah.
And he was up against superior centre-backs who know the league, and he whacked them a couple of times.
Yeah,
but he did get better. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I don't know if he'll be good enough. I don't know. He's got the attributes, and it's about playing games now.
It's where you send him.
What I'm trying to say is, keeping him on our bench for another year won't help him.
No.
So
there's a few of them. As we've talked about, youth so poor that at that age where they've got to play, and then we'll see, and then we'll make money of them, or they're going to develop. Harrison Armstrong, prime example. Be interested to see what happens with him next year. But Chimiti, I don't know whether the Championship's going to help him. It might help him in terms of who he's up against. But if he doesn't score them goals, then people will be going, "Oh, this, that." But abroad, like you say, Marcel Brands might do us a favour, take him, or Italy or France or something like that.
Yeah.
Strasbourg, do a little bit of a swap there for we're going to get whatever. He just needs to go and play 30, 40 games, wherever that is. Definitely. Beto, squad striker. Yeah. Dom, gone. Brozier we're clearly not keeping. But then this either loan or free that you're going to keep, that you're going to get in as your third striker. Who's that for you? Are you thinking someone like
Jamie Vardy?
Vardy, yeah.
He got to America, doesn't he? I'll be honest, I'm not I actually think he would be a sensible year, Vardy.
Yeah.
But I get everyone who go, piss off, I don't want it.
Yeah,
I understand it.
Yeah.
Totally understand it.
It's not how we play.
He's got 9 goals.
Yeah.
This season. He's not how we play.
What about Callum Wilson?
No,
He's
too
still linked with
injury.
Leeds.
Problem with Callum Wilson, see, the difference between Callum Wilson and Jamie Vardy, apart from a Premier League title, an FA Cup,
Dodgy knees.
Is Vardy plays.
Yeah.
Vardy plays games. I'm not saying we should get Vardy, by the way. Just saying there's that. So you have to look and go, we want someone, unless you do I don't think Moyes would do this, but unless you do, you go back to Chelsea and go, listen, see this Armando Broya, by the way, he's been injured. No, just saying. Or go and get like Fofana, David Fofana from Chelsea, who they're looking to get rid of.
Forgot about
He's 21, 22.
He got a big injury though as well.
He's got an injury, so you look at him and go. So you have to look at who you're gonna get who can do you a job. It's hard because if you're bringing in Liam Delap, just use him, even though United seem like they're in pole position. But just say Everton got him, or Emmanuel Omega got him.
Yeah.
And you go, right, we've got one in, we've got Beto. Dom's gone. If Dom stays and you're operating with 3, okay. I don't see personally Dom staying, Beto staying, and Everton getting another number 9.
No.
I don't see it. But if they did, but you have to go and get someone to let Chimiti go out and develop.
Yeah.
And therefore going and buying another striker doesn't make sense either, because you go, well, next summer we'll own Beto, we'll own this new fella, and we'll own Liam Delap, and we're getting Chimiti. It doesn't make sense. So it probably would have to be a loan striker.
Thomas Muller for a year.
He's not going to come here. He's trying to get out. He's not going to be, you know.
So, what's your ambition?
Out of it.
No.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's those type of players, though, isn't it? Where you look and you go, what do we really want?
Yeah.
Because we haven't even got, I don't even think we've got one underneath who you could go. I don't think Martin Sheriff's anywhere near the level. So I don't think you could go, well, Sheriff could be our 3rd striker for the year.
Frankie Okononkwo is injured again, isn't he?
He's been injured.
Got a couple of goals at Salford, but he's not ready for that jump. No way.
Marseille are going to sell Morpay right away.
I know.
You could have to get him back.
No thanks, James.
Yeah.
No thank you.
Thanks, but no thanks.
So, listen.
Who's contract's up?
With anywhere?
Anywhere,
I don't know, Dave.
I'll find out for you.
Send them. You can't be throwing them at me right this second, can you?
It feels like you're underprepared.
I don't
Gotta be
think so,
honest.
because I was never going to have this conversation. So, do what you want.
I think a free or a loan. Definitely.
It's got to be.
Whoever that is, TBC.
Yeah. I mean, Eddie, almost something we spoke about, but Mateta, 27, and
He wants to play every week, doesn't he? He's not.
No, what he's saying is, look at the way he turned. A couple of years ago with Goodison, he looked like a worse version of the ass. Now, the last 18 months of Palace, he's been fantastic. He's a player I liked in Germany, to be fair, but then he comes to Palace and I was like, maybe I got that one wrong.
Yeah.
But no, he's done really, really
well. They've
well.
worked on him.
If you
haven't they?
work on Beto and you keep working on him.
Ronaldo, for a year.
Danny Ings.
That's what we're playing, lads, yeah. That's where we're going on. Danny Ings. Jeez.
God, Dyche's love
Well,
child.
he fell out with Moyes, didn't he? At West Ham, so I don't think it'd be Ings.
What is it, 60 games, 1 goal for West Ham?
Yeah. Matt Gibson says, can Flugelhorn play right back?
Maybe.
That's the big one.
I think he's 2-footed, isn't he?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Ambidextrous.
Right, we're just gonna hold your horses. We're gonna make a double change here. Me and Dave. Dave's just pulled up with a thigh injury. My
like
nose.
Yeah.
My nose is knocking me into needing to blow it. So the subs, just bear with. James should put like a picture up of the team bus or something yesterday.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, well, we had to for a couple of minutes yesterday, didn't we? So
Yeah, we did, yeah.
There you go, new intros and everything.
Fantastic.
Intros and everything.
It does.
Feels like, you know, when you do like comic relief and stuff and they just shuffle new presenters on. Bagsy, yeah, there you go. There you go. Bagsy being Davina McCall.
Identifies whatever you want.
I'm going to do a fitness DVD now. John, how was yesterday for you?
I enjoyed it, mate, yeah. It was good. All about people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't too fussed one way or the other with all the musical interludes and stuff, apart from the violinist lady and the trumpeter, which I thought were brilliant. But it's about being with people, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And we got down there reasonably handy. Entered the stadium covered in blue, yeah, which was good. Didn't see the coach, don't care.
No. The coach went past us, but we didn't see it. Nobody knew the coach had gone past.
Yeah. We were still waiting for it when people are saying, it's been and gone.
I know.
I didn't see you.
We had to ask.
I didn't.
I had to ask a couple of people if they knew it'd gone past or if they knew if the players were in the ground. And I was told, I was like, yeah, the players are in the ground now. So I was like, okay, let's go then.
I've just sent a vid to relatives in Switzerland because my missus has done the still. And I've said, this is the video of it. And where them two are over there was probably where the bus was. And all you can see is blue and flares and people and kids and grown men on walls, and all that sort of stuff. Fantastic.
Well, I was right on the corner where the fence is by Dixie, and that's where it would have gone past. But there was no like roar.
Well, I was probably within a couple of meters of you, but I never saw you.
There was no roar or anything. Yeah, that's it. There was no roar or anything. So, and the Everton cameraman was on the wall. So I've
seen that content. It's good stuff.
Yeah. So it was. Yeah, it was the.
Well, Baz's video. He's got a clear view of the bus. There's lots of blue, but he can see the bus. I didn't see anything.
No, we were right on that corner. So
yeah.
It was just smoke, just flares.
Dixie wouldn't have even seen, as tall as he is.
yeah. It was. No, I loved all that. I loved all that stuff.
Me too.
I loved all the fans and the lads were saying before, the Gladys Street singing all the old songs. That was great. Yeah. Just singing them and
just working the way through them.
Yeah. Just keeping that atmosphere ticking over with you know, going through the repertoire of old players and managers and all that kind of thing. But I just thought emotionally the day was just so up and down. And the aftermatch stuff was just interesting. It was just interesting.
It was a backdrop to us being with our mates, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really
I don't think it quite hit. I don't think it quite worked. I think whoever produced it, maybe they should have looked at getting someone a little bit more experienced, because I don't think it was produced very well.
All right.
That's me being ultra nice. I just don't think it was produced very well. I thought
there was lots of pauses and stuff.
There should have been more moments where a producer maybe should have just gone, no, let's just put it on the card and wait. Tony Bellew interviewed Joe Royle and nobody in the ground could hear it because everyone was singing because of the thing that had just happened. And I think an experienced producer would have said, Tony, just wait. And Tony's not a host, so Tony's going to be inexperienced.
Did he have an ear thing?
He would have had an earpiece.
Okay. So tell him. I know we're supposed to go to this. Just hold fire.
Just hold fire. We're over here. We're doing something else. We're just going to listen to the crowd singing the song for the thing we've just done. So I think it was like Big Dunk or something. We're going to just listen to the crowd singing Big Dunk, and then we're going to come to you.
Hold the fireworks.
Just hold 2 seconds, and we'll come to you. Yeah. And then we'll listen to Joe, and everyone can hear Joe then and take that in. And then we can move on to the next thing. I thought it was paced really poorly. I thought it was like, well, we're late now.
We've got to get through it.
We've got to get through it as quickly as possible. I thought that the timing of the players was too quick as well. It was bum 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 rather than saying
a lot of them.
Yeah, but why rush it though?
Yeah.
Why did it need?
Because they've got to walk around the pitch, so it's going to take time anyway.
Why did it need rushing? Yeah, every single player should have had their moments and didn't. This might seem like I'm moaning, but we only got one go at this.
Well, yeah.
And I just thought
it was a boss day, mate.
As someone in the crowd, it just could have just been slightly a little bit better. Also, but my main gripe is whoever decided to set the fireworks off at that moment.
It was more moments than one. There was a couple of times when they went.
But it was John Dayton. It was the horn, Z-Car's horn, into Day of My Life, and then the fireworks went off, and it completely took you out of that moment. And whoever decided, seriously, don't let them do anything again around Everton, because that was so bad.
It's almost like they were timed to a time, and if you're running a bit late.
Yeah. It was. And I apologise for being, but I wanted that moment to be really, really like poignant, and it totally took me out of it. And I said, as I was saying, that's down to someone producing that show. I don't, by the way, I don't know what it looked like on TV. It might have looked amazing. You mightn't have heard that. But like I've said loads of times, this was for us. It wasn't for anybody else. And that just lost me, that moment. It just lost me. And the band were great. I mean, I know loads of people don't know who they are, but the band were great, and the first song was really good. And when the first lad came on, his sung
in front of Gladys.
Here's the
it was getting feedback on it.
It was getting feedback, and it was bad. It was really bad. It mightn't sound like that on TV, but to us, and I think that might have put him off. He gets one chance to play in front of the Gladys Street, and there was feedback, and I just feel like it was just rushed.
And he was first on as well.
Yeah, but I just feel like it was rushed. Like it wasn't allowed to just settle. It was just like, go and get a drink now. That you couldn't get a drink. Classic Everton, as Dave just mentioned there. It was no ale left. There was no later ale at half time. I really hope it's like. I really hope that was like old regime, and then the new regime's going to sort all that out.
But the memory for us lot in the ground is the people around us, right? The memory for people who might have watched it on TV would be better, because it'll show better, and it's that drone from high up, isn't it? Of the crowds all rammed in, for the coach welcome. Yeah. And then all the people you've met. I mean, I saw you. Was it you who said thanks to everyone who? And you about the 100k thing that we done. Yeah. I stood still for 5 minutes, and 10 people would walk past telling me how great it was and all that. And it's all those things. I mean, I went out on Friday afternoon for lunch with Suburbia and some other guys and stuff like that. It's all on socials. You want to have it, and you end up in the Denby, and it was bouncing. On Saturday. What? Sorry, I have to give a shout out. Wherever he probably won't see this for a while, but Bob from Adelaide, had a good chat with him. He said, "Give me a shout out. Here it is." So Bob from Adelaide's come over for the game, and there was people from everywhere, literally everywhere coming over, and then you got people in London who were coming up, and bloody West Coast cancel the trains, so they don't come.
Yeah, that's terrible.
They miss it.
Oh, that's terrible.
Literally once in every 150 year type thing, and they miss it. And then you got Evertonians, and Suburbia's one of these, who ends up with those people in London saying, "We can't come. I'll send you the tickets. Find a blue to have them." Then they go to the Fans for Food Banks, and Dave Kelly, as usual, pulls a rabbit out of a hat, and two people who thought they had no chance whatsoever of getting in there go in there, because the Blues do the chain of command thing. Amazing.
Yeah, I met so many.
There's so many stories.
But let me just say hello to Alan Thompson, who helped fix my dad's cataracts.
So there you go.
There you go. Big Blue watches the channel. But there was so many people come up to us during the day. Yeah. And it was so good, all well wishing and for the 100,000 and everything. But it was just that yesterday. What it did was it showed you what can be. Oh God. And as the lads were saying then, Dave's saying, there's such an opportunity. There's such an opportunity that Everton keep missing. There's so many tap-ins. I've just referred to you there saying that there was like the gear that Everton were wearing yesterday that got launched on Saturday morning or Friday night. In fact, I reached out to my contact at in the stores, and they had no idea that it was out, and they were definitely not getting it in the shop. And by the time most people realised, most of the larger sizes were all sold out. So are Everton going to reach
small and medium?
Weird sizes, Dave.
All right for James.
You're joking, aren't you? He's big boy, James. He's big boy. Are Everton now going to restock that? Are Everton going to go, do you know what? There's a massive popularity. And this is where, again, this is not criticising. This is people going.
Observation.
This is people going, I really like that stuff. Why isn't there more? And Everton go, oh, you want more? We'll get more for you. We didn't realise. We just thought we'd throw a few bits out. But if you want more, we'll get more.
Yeah, sorry.
Go on.
Thing is, there's a theme here.
Yeah.
Right? Because when the Matchday programme, the special edition Matchday programme was pushed by the club and its socials and all that sort of stuff, pre-order. So I pre-ordered my programmes about 3 weeks ago. And then I sent Reach, who are doing it, an email the other day saying, where is it?
Yeah.
And I got the standard stock responsey type thing, unprecedented demand.
Yeah.
We'll be sending them out next week.
Oh, yeah.
So sometime, maybe, perhaps, you never know, this week, I'll get the programmes that I ordered 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
When I bought 2 yesterday at the ground.
Yeah. And you could have gone down on Saturday and bought one. There was programs there. No, there was programs there on the street.
Oh, really? On
Saturday?
Well, there you go.
There's people on the street selling them.
But the theme for me there is, and we as fans may get accused of being a bit, biased, if you like. We're huge.
Well,
we are huge, and most of what we're talking about here is just underestimating this fan base. Yeah. It's preparedness to buy everything that's good, not cack, but good. Who want the programmes, who want the scarves, who want to buy a beer, who want to So Angus, who had a bit of a challenge getting into the ground himself because of all the fans and all that sort of stuff, he will have seen it firsthand. He should have heard ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. How can we monetize this fan base in a way that isn't ripping us off, isn't tacky bloody badges put onto tacky, clothing or whatever, but that people want because it's what they want. And those so-called PSR issues and all that cack of the past will never reappear. Yeah. Because and we've talked about it, me and Baz, when we're doing the BWB stuff, it's about increasing your wallet share. Get people to spend the money they're probably going to spend anyway with you. Yeah. Right? And do it in a respectful way and not just try and filch them on season ticket prices
and that's what all I was saying.
So great potential.
There's so much stuff. There's so much stuff out there. And as I was saying, I don't know. I mean, if anyone's from watching it from Everton or, those like T-shirts and stuff that the players wore yesterday, are they going to become available? Can people sell people today, though? We are going to restock these items if you wanted them. Most people might have seen yesterday and gone, I really like that. That's going to be. I don't want a seat. I don't want a book. I don't want it.
I've seen it.
I only saw it when he put it in our WhatsApp group. Yeah. But as you rightly said, they could have dumped that on the quote, dumped it, but 3 days before the game said, you can order it now. Stuff that's in stock you'll get tomorrow. You will get it, and the players are going to be wearing it on Sunday. It just would have been unprecedented.
I put that on our Twitter at 7:30 in the morning on Saturday morning.
There you go.
I was awake, found it, and stuck it on. And I basically, I'm having the assist.
You're saying you sold the shop
I'm having the assist because nobody else. Because I literally, and this might sound stupid, I check Everton store every single day. No way, because every day random stuff just pops up and people go, where did that come from? On Saturday morning I just woke up at 6 o'clock. I was just awake and I went, I'm gonna have a check, and I checked and there was new stuff and I was like, what the go on, Dave, what you said?
I was gonna say the shirt that John's wearing as well. It's hidden in the programme.
Same thing. So that shirt was hidden in the Ipswich programme, and my missus said, have you seen this? And I went, boom, I'm getting that on socials. And it went on socials and it went, wow.
Yeah.
So our socials just went mad because everyone was like, what's this? Everton hid it in the What?
You also said half an hour ago on the sofa, it's not your colour. You'd like a navy blue one or royal blue one.
Royal blue one, yeah.
So that's what you do, isn't it? You bang it out there with the Cambridge blue because of the first kit, all that sort of stuff. When you see it really picking up speed, you add a few colours.
Yeah. Just go, we're doing a royal blue one now as well.
Should have had a red one. Called the Southall top,
No,
no, that's right. But it's not too late, is it?
It's never too late to do the right thing.
Bingo. Bingo. Yeah. I'm sorry, while I'm on it.
Yeah.
Barry, Isaac and Ruben, I had to give them a shout out too. Barry, not you, Baz, Barry. I had a cracking chat with him in the fan zone, and there is 2 boys.
Do you know what was funny yesterday? And I'm just like, I seen there's loads of people coming up and they wanted pictures and stuff, right?
You as a celebrity, man.
Right, but there was loads of young lads who they'd see you and they wouldn't, like, they'd look at you too cool for school. 5 pints deep, they all wanted pictures. They all wanted pictures then, didn't they? It was like, at first, it was like, nah, lad, I'm too cool. I'm just singing me songs with my shades on with the little things hanging down so that if my shades fall off, I won't lose them. I don't know where that saying comes from, but fair play.
There was a new clique in the gents just before kick-off, which was slapheads trying to get all the blue smoke off their heads. There was a line of us.
But 5
no
pints,
mirrors in the gents.
5 pints deep, they all wanted one. The best one yesterday was when a lady said, I want a picture with you, but I haven't got a camera, so can you take it? And here's my phone number. I thought that was genius. Here's my phone number.
Did you do it?
I did do it, but I also alerted my wife.
What a chat up line that is.
Immediately, and said, some woman just said this. I have took the picture. I have sent it to her. The phone number has been immediately removed from my phone. Immediately removed. But yeah, it was. No, but as I said, these are things that if Everton can get right, that yesterday looked amazing. I'm still annoyed that Sir Paul McCartney wasn't there. And
he was there as a fan.
I'm a dreamer. I don't care what anyone says, right? There's a world in my head.
That's John's song, mate.
Where Paul McCartney. Yeah, exactly. Imagine.
I said it yesterday. I said that line. Imagine the fella next to me within 1 second. I went, no, that's John Lennon. There's no place in my head where it's unachievable. Nothing's unachievable.
Don't ask, don't get.
If you don't ask, you don't get. There's enough money, and I don't care even if it was for one song. I'd have paid the money because that would have gone round the world in faster than anything. But
it's so simple to say.
But that's new Everton. That's what Everton have got to be. That's what and as John just said, I did see Angus Kinney yesterday trying to climb a metal fence, which was quite funny. He didn't, because he saw it and went, I'm not climbing a metal fence. But Angus Kinney walked. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how it happened.
Of course you do. The roads were full of people.
Yeah, okay. But I don't understand why he wasn't already in the building at 8 o'clock. But
yeah, this was, what time was
this?
It?
This was about 10ish.
Yeah, okay.
And so basically,
no, we won't.
There's a fence, and people decided we're just going to climb over this fence, like a little metal fence by Dixie on the road. And there was a queue forming, and I think he probably thought this is just a walkway. And when he got there, he realised it was a metal fence, and then our eyes met, and I went, all right, Angus. And he looked back at me and said, you're all right. And then he went, I'm not walking this way. But what he did see was thousands of Evertonians everywhere. He was right in the middle of it, and I really hope that today he's going, yeah, we could do something with this. We could seriously do something with this. So he was right in the middle of it. He was right in the mix. So don't know what time he would have got into the ground. I'm not sure many people probably would know who he was.
Well, they did when you shouted higher, Angus.
It was more of a. It was literally right next to me. It was like,
right, okay.
It was more like that. So yeah,
probably helped him.
I'd have lifted him over.
Yeah.
My dad was lifting anyone. My dad lifted this woman over, and then she came back to him and she went to my sister, do you think he'd mind lifting me onto the wall? Like, what? 72, love.
Get over there, Dave, we'll pull him up.
Yeah, so, and Molly McCann was on the lamppost as well, so she could have sorted it out, but, no, there was this, yesterday to me, it was amazing, but it also shows the power of Everton and the brand if you get it right.
Yeah.
And so, I thought David Moyes, what he said was brilliant. I thought his speech was brilliant. He basically said to the Friedkins, have you seen this? Have you seen what we can do if we got the right stuff? But I like that thing of like, we need you. So why not? It won't be the same, but can we make the first game at the new stadium,
mega.
At the Hill Dickinson Stadium?
Yeah, mega.
Can we make that a massive event that we all buy into? Okay, it won't be on the same scale. It's not going to have the same emotion. I get that. But why not? We're moving. That's the last day of the old stadium. Can we make the first day at our new stadium something as well? Where
double header.
Where people go, wow. And they did the fireworks at that
was cool.
That was my idea weeks ago. I said that weeks
ago. The photograph.
I said that weeks ago. That was the Tom Cruise moment.
Photograph of the Everton Stadium with Goodison Park in the background with blue smoke rising. Tremendous.
Yeah.
Print it, Everton. Print it. Put it in frames. We'll all buy it. Yeah. They're all your ideas.
Tom Cruise. That was my Tom Cruise moment, wasn't it? Get Tom Cruise on a motorbike from one ground to another.
There's still time
with a big flag.
There's still time to organise the Spitfire.
Yeah. No, that was the only.
Yeah, they were. That was cool. That was Ped's idea as well. No, he's claiming everything.
I'm having the assist. Why not? Why can't we do that the first game and then make it?
We're only moving there once.
Yes, there's only one first game.
Till the women team moved there, and we moved to. No.
Yeah.
No, it should be the first game. Should be huge there. Should be in a massive.
You mean first Premier League game?
Yeah, first Premier League game. The other ones are the soft openings.
Soft openings, yeah.
The first game where everyone sits in their own seats, where it's we should make that day
mega
huge, huge day. We should make it an event.
It'll be live on telly.
Make it an event. Make it the same kind of event, and go big on it. And yeah, afterwards, put a free concert on afterwards.
Oh, in the fan plaza.
No, in the ground.
Oh, in the ground.
Stay in your seats.
Don't go home.
Stay in your seats. We're having a free
party.
Yeah, we're having a party because this is the first day. So it'd be nice. It's the summer. It doesn't go dark till late. So let's make it a really big thing. Why not?
I wonder if you can have 50. No, we can have whatever it is. I've seen various numbers. Keeps going up every time I see it. I think the last shout was about 17,000 in the fan plaza, right? So how many can you have in the fan plaza if the stadium's full? Is it none? Or can you have some thousands in there as well?
I don't know the answer to that, John.
Because I'm sure there would be people who, a bit like, the last game of Goodison, they want to be associated with it, but they haven't, unfortunately, been able to get a ticket. But we've got a ready-made place to entertain them, haven't we, in the fan plaza?
I think my only thing about that would be from a safety point of view.
No, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, so when the gates open, you would have thousands of people emerging into thousands of other people, so that might be an issue.
Well, I'm just wondering whether the number's 0 or if it's 5,000.
Yeah. We'll find out. But why not? Why not make a big thing of it? Learn the lessons from yesterday. What can be done? I hope the new ground should never run out of ale.
No.
Goodison Park should never run out of ale.
Big pipes.
Just pipes straight to Ireland to the Guinness factory. It should never run out of ale ever. That no successful business should ever run out of ale.
But the fella who was running or was just standing around, because I guess he's the technician or something, the self-service Guinness things at the park end, he literally said, we won't run out, but they're all going to shut us down.
Yeah.
Right? So you need to do the first bit, but not the second bit.
Yeah. So, and then, again, the merchandising, make sure you've got everything in there, home, away, thing.
Did you get your scarf?
Yeah, I've got my scarf, yeah. Make sure that you've got your home, away, and have a scarf on every seat.
Yeah, for the first game as well.
First game, you should have a scarf. You should have a scarf for the last game and a scarf for the first game. Make sure home, away, third kits are all available in that shop.
Yes.
On day one, make sure...
they will all sell out.
Make sure there's a Castori range for the new ground, as there was for about 10 minutes, for the old ground. Make sure the old Goodison stuff's in there as well. Play on people's, what did Fletcher say? Monetize grief. They were Fletcher's words, but it's more like monetize emotion.
Yeah. And while you're at it, make the first game of the ladies' team at Goodison one where there's a hell of a lot of people in there.
Yeah.
Just find a way.
Yeah.
Free was a good way, I suppose. But
if Everton have their first game, speak to the Premier League, first home game, try and get it on a Sunday.
Yeah, so
make sure the ladies are playing at 3:00 on a Saturday.
Yes.
At Goodison Park.
We all go there.
And build it up as this massive double header where anyone who's coming in from outside of the city,
go to both.
You come into the weekend, you get to go to Goodison Park and you get to go to the new ground in the same weekend. Why wouldn't you? These are the things, these are the ideas that we want to see. Baz is literally just sitting there going, I can't wait. That's what he's saying right now. He's saying, I can't wait. You just can't hear him because he's got a bit of a muffled nose. That's what it sounded like anyway.
Head cold to end all head colds.
As we head down to the Hill Dickinson Stadium. No, but these are the ideas we have to come up with, isn't it? This is the idea of, you just said it, and I think we've said it loads of times, people have money in their pockets to spend. Everton should be taking that money.
As much of it as they can,
Yeah. You know, as much
Make
as
it easy for people to spend money, not difficult.
Yeah. Well, exactly. And also, when you've got nowhere else to go, so once you're in the ground, if you go down for something to eat and all you can get as a bag of, you were prepared to pay X amount for this thing and all you can buy is a bag of crisp, then the football club have just missed out on those
The difference,
3 extra pounds from the pie to the, you know, if you wanted a cup of tea or a bottle of water and you can't get that, then that's a worry. That's a worry. You know, I had ex-professionals telling me yesterday that they got one bottle of water all day.
Is the retail shop going to be big enough?
Yeah. Is the shop going to be...
Can you get people in, spend the money, get out, so more people can come in to spend money?
Can you get in the shop from inside the stadium?
I think you can.
That's a question I'd want to add on. I don't know if you can, but that would be something...
I think you could, whether you can. Yeah.
Or can you buy... Will you be able to buy stuff in the stadium if you just like... Well, because I've gone in early. I'm buying stuff. I'm buying a drink. I'm buying me tea. I've gone in early. Do you know what? I wanted to buy that shirt.
Buy it online and they deliver it to your seat.
Yeah, why not? These things are happening. These are not.
But not scarves, because my lad's scarf got nicked before he got to his seat.
Yeah, that's our last. That.
Yeah, David's when he got to his seat, there was no scarf on it, which is a bit of a bummer to say the least. But
there you go. Scarf robbers. No, but these things are all real. These things all already happen in the world. These are not like mad ideas. These things already happen. So,
don't even need to innovate. Just copy.
No, just copy. There you go. Let me just have a look at something. Also, let me just put this out there right now. Evertonians do not call Everton the Ev. Can I just get that? Can I just get that right? Can I just get that straight right now? Evertonians do not call Everton the Ev, right? Yeah. No.
Stop it now.
Stop it now. You know who you are. You know who you are. Do not. Do you know who you are? And you are big enough. Don't ever call us the Ev again. Your platform is too big to be calling us the Ev, and I will stand on that. That is the hill I'm prepared to stand on. I'm sorry.
You're going to stand on the platform then. Yeah.
I am not having. I am not. I don't. I believe I am, for once in my life, representing the majority of Evertonians. For once in my life,
it makes me cringe
when I hear that. Yeah,
they made it up.
Liverpool fans called us the Ev. Now, if you're trying to appeal to your little Liverpool friends, sorry, we do not call ourselves the Ev. We are the Toffees if we're not Everton.
Yeah.
And some people...
The Blues
I don't even like the Blues, though.
I think it's all right.
I've gone up... It's the Chelsea thing, though, for me. They've claimed that. So I like the Toffees. The Toffees, I think, is... There's nobody else called Toffees. Nobody.
It's such a preference, yeah.
No, but I'm just saying the Toffees is the one I would go for.
Okay,
because nobody else is called the Toffees. There's loads of Blues, Birmingham, Chelsea.
Yeah, okay.
But there's definitely no Ev. There is definitely no Ev.
We're not having Ev.
We're not having the Ev. You know who you are. You know who you are. And I hope this gets back to you
it will.
As someone who's been around the world a little bit more, a little bit older, maybe not wiser. But we are never the Ev. Never. If someone says to you in the apocalypse and it might save the world, what are Everton's nickname? I don't care if it saves the world. If you say the Ev, I'd rather have gone.
So what do you think of the Ev then?
I'm just putting it out there. John, you know that
I'm with you.
No, but you know I'm quite mild on my opinions. You know I keep my opinions to myself.
Oh, yeah, right.
You know I'm really calm and cool and collect.
Ted, that's woeful. That is what you just said.
That is woeful.
That's woeful.
It's not even effing woeful.
It's
more
woeful.
than that. It's a mouthful, John. It's a mouthful.
Do you think Ryan will say it again then?
Who's Ryan? What are you talking about? I was talking about Cliff from...
But no.
No,
we do.
No, please
don't propagate.
Please,
that. No, please don't.
Right. Don't, please. That's not our name. I don't want the world thinking that's our name. Dave's just popped in.
It's a gobstopper.
Please do not call us that.
That
please.
Was on the woeful spectrum, but not as much as him. So.
I can't have that. I just can't have that.
The last time he sat here, he was jumping up and down celebrating 100k. Now he's got his head in his hands.
It's horrible, though.
It is.
It's hot. The last time, there was
very plastic.
There was an Aussie band came over, didn't there? Was it an Aussie or a Yank band? And they took over at Everton 2, and they changed the lyrics in their song to...
Talking of plastic, the label in this bloody polo shirt.
They changed the lyrics to one of their songs to the Ev, and they got scarves made with Up the Ev, and it was like,
no.
And it was like, someone at Everton allowed them to do that and then defended it, and it's like, no, you can't you can't make something up and go, no, that's what it is. We're not the Ev. We never. That's literally what they call us, to take the piss out of us. Yeah. The Ev. So we're taking the piss out of ourselves. We've got to stand up for our football club.
Yeah.
Like we're allowed to moan about our football club. We are. But when someone else has a go at our football club, we have a go at them.
Yeah,
so when you hear your own fans, it's like siding with them. Like, it's horrible, that. Horrible. Makes me feel horrible, that.
Like suggesting we sing "You'll Never Walk Alone" at the match for us.
Because it's a nice song.
Adopting it as our
yeah,
horrible.
That's what it's like.
Yeah.
Somewhere and go, we should sing that.
That's a good one.
Because that's what the Ev is. That's them taking the fucking piss.
That's horrible, that. That's horrible.
Thankfully, Mr. Cass does not have a microphone.
No.
Pre-watershed and all that.
Yeah.
But I agree with you.
Thank God.
Yeah. No, listen, it was a great day. But yesterday was absolutely, like we were talking about, like, I've never seen Goodison as good as that.
No,
you know, never seen Goodison as good as that. Never. And I know it's not a pressure. There's no pressure on the day, but it was brilliant.
There was so much blue.
Yeah, it was really
so much blue, mate.
I went into town afterwards.
Ditto.
And town was just full of Evertonians everywhere you went. By the Denby Castle was rammed.
Outside the street was rammed.
We walked past the lock up, rammed. We walked Evertonians were just everywhere. We went to we ended up in the Bridewell, and that there was ex-Everton players in there. That's a bit of a... I think the fella who owns it is an Evertonian. Nice. And they do Everton legend afternoons and stuff like that. Yeah, it was just Everton everywhere, and you think, well, that's what you want the future to be. That's what you want the future to be. And we've been on this channel for 11 years, almost trying to push that agenda. Is that's what we want. For many years we've identified how big we believe Everton Football Club is, and we just want a football club that understands that and not take that as a criticism. Not take that as a criticism of them doing their job. It's more of a, come on, wake up. There's a huge fan base here that is all over the world and wants to spend its money and wants to see Everton be successful when other teams are being successful. And that's not the Liverpools of the world or the Man Uniteds of the world. It's the other teams around us that we... And Moyes has said this, and other people have said that, haven't they, of clubs that they feel are... are winning trophies. And
Angus said it.
Yeah. Well,
smaller clubs than Everton, doing well, and then immediately calls out Crystal Palace, congratulations on winning the FA Cup, and Forest, who may or may not get Champions League, but it's all mega close, and it'll all go down to the wire, and Telly will get what it wants, courtesy of Champions League, won't it, rather than the big trophy that someone else gets. So.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll just have to hope that he understands that message, and hope that...
Sure he does.
Yeah, and hope that the people at the club, like Baz and Dave were saying then, start to understand the fan base and not be scared of the fan base. Why be scared of your biggest asset? We've said it for years. There's no point being scared of your biggest asset. No. Embrace it. Take it on board. We seen that yesterday with they're using the footage and the again, this harks back to a couple of years ago with the bus welcomes and all that kind of thing, letting things slide. Yesterday with all the flares and everything. I mean, in the Gladys Street there was a piper.
Yeah,
there was a piper, A fella.
Was he kilted up? Or
About
just with the
15
pipes?
minutes to go. All you hear was, and you're like, what the? Am I hearing that?
But they
and the
obviously let him in though.
Next minute, yeah. Someone had made a decision.
To let him in.
Seems like to go. You know what would be mad? Just having a pipe, allowing a fella with a piper. You know what's he gonna do? Like what's he gonna do with that? And just getting changing almost like the atmosphere within it. Like maybe those last 15 minutes might need it. I don't know,
of a lift.
Just because everyone was knackered, weren't they?
Yeah.
Let's be honest, everyone was knackered.
Yeah.
Just needed it. And then this piper comes in and then by the end of the game, he was basically on the side of the pitch and everyone's loving it. And it's just like, if someone's made that decision at Everton, well done. Just those little tiny little things. The flares, no one was really bothered about the flares. Obviously, before the game and during the game, no one really was bothered. Again, just like going, because we see it all over Europe. We see the tifos, we see the flares. It makes it amazing. And in this country, we're a bit like, oh, you know, we've got rules and regulations and all that. I get that, but you can just go, say in a blind eye, because they have had to in the past. Saying like when we did the bus welcomes last time, it was let's just. That's my override memory. The fan base.
Totally.
And the amount of it was like, did you walk down Goodison Road?
No, couldn't get near it.
It was dead sunny, and then you walked down Goodison Road, and it was like you were going into like a nightmare. It just all went dead dark really quickly. Like I know that it's in the shade anyway, but with all that smoke, it was like being one of those films where they're in like you have a little sort of
like a sand tornado.
Yeah, like a nightmare scenario in a film where everything just suddenly goes dark, and it was like wow, it went cold and dark, and it was just blue. It was really good.
Like everyone else, our cab couldn't get anywhere near. We left home at 8.
You're on the parking, aren't you? So obviously we had to walk that way.
No, I can come from the other side.
So what was your overriding memory, emotion when you actually left the ground?
Not as emotional as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I think I literally... nearly went into Oasis then. Yeah. I walked away and never looked back.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I had my moments in there when, you know, if someone had pushed me over the line, bloody buckets would have happened.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
Yeah.
And we chatted. And Joe, if you're watching, mate, you just offed. You just went. You know, so you weren't on the group photo, were you? Mm-hmm. But yeah, well, that's that done. I think Myers, Alan, did a tweet something. Well, that's that done. Or a tweet something like that, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's history now.
Yeah.
It's a great history, but we've got other memories to build up the road.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Just being able to.
It's not a bad thing.
No, just walking out. That's what I'm saying. It was like just walking out, going, this is done now.
Yeah,
this is done. I don't think anyone. It felt like it like built up, and it was almost like the aftermatch stuff just took us. Calmed us down a little bit. It never got to that emotion. The aftermath stuff never hit any kind of emotional. You know, as I said, I think some of the fireworks might have stopped that happening, but it just never hit an emotional, like the emotional thing for me.
But it's easy. It's not easy. It's interesting to watch how people deal with that.
Yeah.
Because people around me, that one way of dealing with not getting caught by the emotion, isn't it, is to get up and sing loud and hard and forever and just keep yourself occupied. And the other one which was in the minority, which is you trying to just keep calm and you're focusing and not losing it. And so you actually have, by me anyway, people side by side where one is just like clearly reflecting about everything that's gone on here in the past and looks like depressed because they're just processing it, and someone next to him screaming the songs out as loudly as they possibly can. All covered in blue, of course.
Yeah. Big shout out to Gary Burkett who sent us all the sweets. Nice one.
Yeah.
Nice one.
There's a box over there.
Yeah, there's a box over there. Nice one. No, yeah. By the time I left the ground, I was.
What time did you bail out?
It was. I don't know what time it was. It was by the time everyone had decided that you could go all over anywhere you wanted on the pitch. I never went on the pitch myself, but it was like they were on the edges and then slowly just started creeping further and further and further in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they had stewards then who was squeezing.
Yeah, it was almost like we don't want you running on the pitch.
No, that's right.
But you can if you are sensible.
Yeah, and I think that was really sensible.
Yeah. The stewards just like put your bum on the thing and swear around and go. So it was just like, and the police and the stewards were just like, you can come on here, but don't be running around like an idiot and get on, get your picture and get off. Yeah. And I think that was the most sensible thing, was like, just don't run around like a lunatic and have it like get your moments and then leave. So I saw all that. And then we left, and then we walked down to the Barlow Arms, and we just stood outside there for a little bit, and then I walked back up to Goodison, spoke to a couple of people, got a few pictures, at like the quiet, and then I went home for 40 minutes.
Yeah, we did. We went to the hotel, got changed.
Yeah, I went home for 40 minutes, and then went into town.
Yeah.
So and then I was just like, I was absolutely fine. I was just tired. There was all those emotions had gone, and I was
adrenaline pump had been on. That's why.
And I was just ready. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm just ready for the next thing.
Yes,
and we were just saying, it's that first game of the season when you go, oh, I'm not going to Goodison, going to the new place.
That might be when it gets me. It's classic, innit? It's when it's different.
Yeah, that's it.
Or when the fixture lists come out, we find out who it is. You know, that sort of thing. Yeah, I think you're right, mate. Because it is going to be. I mean, we're going to have the full capacity test. When's that? Sort of end of the first week in August or something. But that's like the week before, isn't it? Yeah. So, people season ticket holders, for example, will have been in their seat once. And all the people who haven't got season tickets might be completely different people from the ones who went, if it is Roma or whatever. So, yeah, you need a couple of games, I think, to do your orientation and all that jazz.
They need to play so that it starts to play home.
It needs to be dressed as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, the most important thing is that it's by the time we get in there, and this is what they're doing now, so it's not a criticism of them. We went to test events. I've been to a couple of test events. It felt, bare. But there's still work going on. They are test events, aren't they? That's what they're doing now. It needs to be dressed. It needs to be made about Everton as much as possible.
Make it a bit more blue, if you like.
Yeah, make it homely.
Yeah.
Make it a bit more homely. Make it so it's not grey concrete everywhere. Get in there. We don't know what the friendly situation is at the moment. There's talk that it's going to be Roma. It would have been great if it had been like a weekend event. It would have been really good if we could have...
tournament, you mean?
Yeah, so it would have been really good if we could have got 3 teams. So like Roma and 2 others with like a real pedigree, like a Celtic, for bringing fans down. Yeah. So like a real, maybe not Celtic. But
you can't have Football League teams for the same reason, really.
But but you want 2 teams that have got a real pedigree. So like Roma have got a big fan support here. So you'd say if there's 2 games and you bring like Roma, that's great for the city. You've got fans coming from somewhere else that are going to spend money over it. And you get another 2 like that who are prepared to bring fans. You sell the place out, you're testing the place, but you're making a real... And you're getting rid of that. Oh, this is great, isn't it? You're getting rid of that. So the first game of the season...
And where's my seat?
Your first game, first game of the season, you're ready to go. You're not giving the old neck and doing all that. You've been in there. You've seen it. I hope Everton allow fans, even if you can't get in the stadium, to go down and have a good walk round it.
Find where your turnstile is.
Yeah, well, just have a nice little walk round it. Go onto the other side.
Matchday open earlier.
Find your stone.
Yeah, be open earlier than
Find
normal.
your stone and all that.
Yeah,
hopefully that'll order, the week before, 2 weeks before, get down there, have a little good look
around.
If
it's a Sunday game, like you said, and I know we talked about the women, but you could have an open day on the Saturday, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Where you literally can come in and walk round. Yeah.
Do all that, so we're familiarised in that first game, make it a big event. And but as listen, who knows, because of the time, because of when the first game is.
But it's all digital tickets as well.
Yeah.
So that will cause some challenges for some, won't it?
Yeah. Well, that's what they could do. They could have I think Liverpool...
Don't want huge congestion.
I think Liverpool did this a few years ago when they changed over to the new tickets. I think they had open days just to go down.
Figure out how to do it.
And just do it.
Yeah.
And go into your... Yeah. So just go down and just... invite everyone who's got a season ticket, maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever.
Place will be open.
Stagger it.
Yeah.
East stand is this day, West stand is that day.
Plan.
You go down, and because of the stadium, the situation, you get to go to your seat, but you also get to have a little walk around as well.
Yeah.
Walk around. Not everyone went to the test events.
True.
Not everyone went to the test events. So go down, familiarise yourself, but also because hopefully it will be different. Hopefully, because it will have been dressed and will be Everton, you go, oh, that's not brilliant. And that's your chance to go, I know exactly that when I walk into the ground, how I get to my seat straight away, and what I'm passing on the way. Is there this kiosk? Is it the DAC? Do they sell pizza? Do
Where do I get programs? Where do I get beer? Where do I get whatever?
If I'm inside the ground, can I buy merchandise? Or, like you said, is there a little desk where you go on your phone with the Wi-Fi and you go, you know what, I've missed out on that thing. I'm going to buy it right now. It's in someone in the club shop's job. By the way, again, this is just the Uber Eats, blah, blah, blah. Someone in the shop, their job on a match day is simply to get the orders and go, right, in a bag. And someone else's job is to go, right, take that bag to kiosk 1. You got 15 minutes. You walk down, you pick your bag up and you go back to your seat.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's all it is, isn't it? And it's all those little things and we can get used to all that.
There's a little simple thing that came out then while you were talking, which is we're all anticipating, aren't we, free Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
So if we have an open day, we can all connect to that network, can't we? So that when we turn up on match day, we are connected. Yeah, yeah. We don't have to, what's the password?
Yeah. All that, isn't it?
And they'll know then when we come.
And you can test the strength of it as well. You can switch it on and test the strength of it and go if it's working, if it's not working and all that kind of thing. So, still lots to do. But this is where they've got to try and figure out.
Discounts based on what time they're buying stuff.
Okay.
Earlier you get in the ground, you get a little bit of discount. And even if it's just Everton reward points that you get back.
Yeah.
And you say, well, why, I don't know, buy a pie in town when I can go in the ground and I'll get 10 points or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, if you...
The world is our oyster, my friend.
It is definitely. We've just got to seize it. James is sending me all kinds of messages.
Is he?
He's sending me all kinds.
Why doesn't he just tell you?
Because I think he just wants me to talk. No, sorry.
Telling you what to talk about?
No, he's just sending me something about the Dominic Calvert-Lewin's missus. And some of the messages.
About the goals.
Yeah, but some of the messages she's receiving as well. It's not, you know.
Well, if the people are being abusive, they're plonkers.
Yeah, so she shouldn't be receiving messages because
I thought it was just about he's the 3rd highest goal scorer. No, it's about
the highest goal scorer one. The one.
Is it? Yeah, I saw her walking off with him, but I didn't see the back of his shirt.
Listen, he's left himself in a position where he's not
got the best bargaining situation.
He started the season as a lot of people with can't and then the season he's just like thanks for the memories, Ashley.
Yeah.
Do you know? Yeah. So he's left himself in a position where he's not had a send off and there's a couple of plays like that obviously, but that's where the football club obviously must be still negotiating with them because obviously they've only said Ashley Young's going and the 2 goalkeepers, so they won't get a send off really unless it comes out this week. But Newcastle's not exactly going to be the same, is it?
No.
Do you think they've done that purposely because they're still talking to him, or do you think why would they not?
DCL, you mean?
Yeah. Why would they not announce that he's going if he is going?
Because presumably it's not concluded.
Yeah, I imagine they're still negotiating. Otherwise, they would have said. Otherwise, what would be the point? You've told, you've allowed, you give send off to other people. So why wouldn't you give them to everyone else? You know, Decore waved at everyone, but it's not.
He said, didn't he, that it's nothing sorted with him yet?
Exactly, there's nothing definitive. You've got to take the moment, haven't you? I suppose you've got to seize the moment. If that is your last time, you'll never get an opportunity.
I thought Seamus was waving up back.
See, what's mad is I thought Seamus' substitution was ceremonial.
Ditto.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I thought it was ceremonial.
No, I didn't.
He was
last
apparently
night.
on his
I'm in the gravity, mate. I was barely watching. No, I know, but...
When he went on the overlap and got the corner, he went like that to the bench straight away.
Oh, I didn't see that.
He carried on, and then when he played the ball forward, his left foot, he went like that.
No, I thought it was a prepared substitution.
I wasn't paying that much attention.
Well, that's clearly what I was thinking at the time, yeah, but because that's not like Moyes, is it? That but no, I got told he took a clip and
thigh injury, wasn't it?
Why would he not say anything about the players that are out on loan whose contract's ending as well?
Well, why should he?
I don't know, like a Mason Holgate or whatever.
Mason hasn't been here for years, has he?
Who?
He's not been here for years.
Did that tear you apart, that one, did it?
What?
You were sitting there. Have you got the Mason?
Where's
Holgate
Mason?
Instagram
No, but I just saw
channel?
there was loads of people, ones that they just haven't mentioned. I thought it was interesting and they didn't mention it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
The
don't know if there's a
Mopai one that
reason.
got me.
Yeah.
Mopai got me.
I think he's been treated really badly.
I was
don't
just
you?
like, Mopai's in Marseille right now.
With his feet up.
Having to
On
come
the
to
bench.
terms with that. He didn't do the lap of honour. No, they're the three that have definitely gone. The lone players are, well, they're just the lone player. They got to walk around the pitch. They got to, if they think it's done, isn't it? They got to say goodbye just because we don't know it's done.
Yeah.
Class.
Tom, that's a bit of class. Tom Davis, amazing.
Great suit as well.
I expected Richarlison to be there.
Yeah.
I'm actually amazed he wasn't there.
There was a Richard Arlison in the top balcony, I was told. No, it's who knows?
Back row, was it?
We might get more stuff this week, might we? But I can't see any. I can't see Jack Harrison being at Everton next season.
Someone asked in the comments, how did your disposable camera go?
Oh, yes.
you do it?
You had
Yeah, we have to do it. Yeah.
No, I know, but I was just saying, did you take good ones?
Yeah.
Or did you forget?
I didn't take one picture all day, did I?
Did you not?
No. I have assistants for that kind of work, James.
No.
I have people. I have disposable camera people.
Do a clip. Ped's missus is described as his assistant.
My camera, my own camera, never
your
left
hand.
my hand all day.
Yeah.
I have. There's another
Did you
video.
have your fancy video?
There's another video editing there, and it's an hour
Still
long.
going, isn't it? Yeah.
So I've put 2 videos out. I was.
I told Bridget I'd be ready because you
No,
told me
it
it was.
broke at the last minute.
All right.
Sorry,
Bridget.
I was uploading to YouTube whilst the game went on. It took 2.5 hours to get that video out, and I was on the Wi-Fi. I was on Everton's Wi-Fi.
Wow.
And it took 2.5 hours to get the first video, but it come out just after the game finished, so that was good. Second one I got on just a little bit later, and the third one, I was still editing at 2 o'clock this morning, but yeah, so hopefully at some point.
And you overslept?
Yeah, I did massively oversleep. I would still be asleep now if Sam hadn't moved.
Your assistant hadn't woke you, yeah?
No, Sam's the photographer, so
nice.
I'm the videographer. So I filmed everything. It never left my hand all day, so I was filming everything. Yes, there's so much more footage that I've
Not used.
I was editing in the ground like that. When you're editing on a screen, it's really, really difficult. When it's on a small screen. So there's another video come out. It's like an hour long of all the after. So if you didn't hear anything on, because apparently that's the other thing. TNT went to YouTube. So YouTube starts halfway through Andy Gray talking. So instead of going, right, what we're going to do is
Hit record.
we'll simultaneously put the beginning of the ceremony on the TV
And YouTube.
So we've got a full version of it.
At 2:45, it switched over.
They just switched over
Just turned off TV, if you like.
and just turned on YouTube.
Yeah.
What's going on?
That's why Bridget's saying that she's not seen it.
Yeah.
Everything that was before.
So
She's in North America.
if I was Everton, I would
US.
be really angry about that.
Yeah.
Really angry.
Somewhat inept, isn't it?
That to me is silly. That to me is that you don't have the full thing. So, what I do right now, if I was TNT, is I go, right, let's get the full thing and let's upload the full thing right now to YouTube.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have,
They have recorded it.
so we have
in their own
got
gap,
a
yeah.
full version. See, this is what I don't quite understand about YouTube is, obviously, when we put a video up, we can only take stuff away from that video. There's an editor and you can chop bits out if you want. Like, say there's a little gaff in it or something. Sometimes I've edited something, I've left a little bit of black space between bits. I can go back to it afterwards and
Take
just
that
clip
bit out,
that out.
yeah.
We can't add to it, or we can't.
Once it's there, it's there.
Yeah, we can't replace it. There must be a way that big companies who have huge, like, within that world could go to YouTube, right? Can you put an extra thing on so that we can replace that video with another version of that video?
Yeah.
Because I can understand why they don't do it. It's really hard. And obviously the other thing about it is like, if people start watching a video and have liked it and shared it and all that, and then you put a new version up and that new version's completely different, like that could lead you into some seriously dark areas if we all did it.
Yeah.
If we all did it.
Just trust the huge ones. Yeah.
But a huge company could go, we just need to, can we just put a longer version of that? So, and all that is that's just for the URL. So that when the URL's being shared around, it stays the same.
Yeah,
you've got continuity. That's all it is.
At the end of the day, it is digital, right? So they can match it and say the one you want to replace it with is 87% the same as the first one.
Yeah, even if you said, is there a way that we keep the URL so that what the URLs that's getting bounced around now is the same one,
so they don't get 404 equivalents or whatever.
Exactly. So, and we get it now and again where we find an error on a video or something, and we go, oh God, we got to take that down, and you take it down, and then you put a new one up, and you've lost that. If that video's already been started getting shared, you've lost that free advertising.
Yeah.
So that's disappointing from TNT that they've only put it off half up. I find that a really strange decision to make. Just start YouTube. There's no kind of like rights issue. You've basically told everyone there's only one way you can watch this ceremony.
On TNT.
It's on TNT. It's going on Discovery. Anyway, Discovery Plus. You have to press the red button because they were going to the Harlequins game, which was really important.
Clearly much more.
Really, really important.
It's a rugby league union.
Yeah, it's really important. They've got like 9 channels. They've got like 9 channels.
The other 8 were busy as well.
Yeah. They had
do they do
dodgeball on?
What? Do they have red buttons?
They have a red button, but that's what I'm saying. So you could have put it on they put it on the red button and then they put it on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
But just have YouTube lined up. These are just basic common sense. That's just common sense, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's absolutely common sense. So the minute I'm watching, I can just flick over and it's already there. I don't miss anything, and if I have missed anything, I can go back and watch it. That's just.
But everyone else does that.
Yeah.
You know, like the Beeb, if they move something from BBC One to BBC Two, you know, like golf or something or whatever it is, at the same time, it's on both, isn't it? Briefly.
Yeah.
So people can cut over.
Strange. So. Very, very strange.
Strange, very strange.
Yeah. Right, we're going to go now.
Yeah, it's a good plan, yeah.
So long, emotional day, and that's it. It's all done.
Great day, really.
God, we got 1 game left.
Yeah, we're
Does anyone remember playing Newcastle?
Going to go and screw around with the tunes next week.
Big game for them, innit?
Yeah, but I don't know what song we're going to sing.
Songs are the same. Songs shall never change. Keep the songs. I don't know how you work the new name into a song, by the way, but you know.
Well, we're not going to, are we?
No, of course not.
HD Stadium.
Eh?
The HD
There's no point calling it the HD Stadium.
Sounds cooler.
No, but you're not allowed to call it the HD Stadium. So what's the point calling it the HD Stadium?
We can call it what we want.
Though,
Well, you can't. No one on telly can go. Now we're going to the HD. What's the point?
Dave nailed it. I'm not going there. I'm going to the grounds.
On the ground.
Going to match,
yeah,
lads.
You just call it the ground.
You know
always called the ground. Well, and it's only been called Bramley Moor to distinguish it from Goodison Park.
Why is all that sheeting up on the stadium at the front?
Where?
The new stadium.
Where though? Where on the stadium?
South stand.
Corners.
So it's in the corner there.
Corners.
On the outside. Is that where some of the branding's going?
No, I think they're sandblasting.
Are they?
I think they've been. That don't.
Golf on the inside of it.
I
You reckon?
think they've been.
Oh, okay.
I think they've been sandblasting under the.
Oh, sorry. You mean sheeting? Sorry, I thought you meant there was an issue inside. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I think they might have been sandblasting the corners. No, the exposed concrete.
Yeah.
I think they might have been sandblasting.
Okay. I just wondered whether they were putting some, dressing the place.
No, maybe they are, but because I think last week that started to come down. Some of the stuff started to come down.
Because the branding, I know we've seen the CGI from the Riverside, but there must be some going to go on the outside.
Must be, yeah.
Unless it's going to be over the entrance. But your better view of it is that corner. So I just
It looks good on the
on the CGI, it does, yeah.
Eddie's saying in the US they didn't even have anything for the post game. I thought they were having it on Peacock. Peacock made a big deal of saying they had all the after game, and then a couple of people.
Bridget said they haven't.
Yeah, and then I think Eric and Aaron come mates last night were saying they couldn't find it.
That's
they
mad,
couldn't find it. So, but Peacock put a thing out saying all of it was going to be on there. So
Just
again, this is why,
like Sky with Alan's video, they hide it. You've got to know where it is.
This is exactly why I've been saying for weeks that Everton should have took ownership of it all. They should have had before the game and after the game on their own channel. They should have brought their own production company in and done it themselves. So every Evertonian went to the Everton YouTube channel for this. You can't rely on anybody else. You just can't. Red buttons and all that. People haven't got Discovery Plus set up. Loads of people have TNT on Sky, but they mightn't have set up Because Discovery thing, you have to set it up separately if you want that red button. It's not,
see.
It's not automatic. You have to like.
But it's still a subscription service.
Yeah, it's free. It's free
if you have TNT.
If you've got TNT,
so you have to pay for TNT first.
Yeah, but you have to set it up. But for me,
maybe we sold the rights to it, all the pre and post match stuff as well.
But if you
got some money for it, I don't know. Because why else wouldn't you put it out on your own channel unless it's been monetized by selling it to a third party?
Who knows how many people around the world would have watched that, and then the advert alone,
lots.
The advert alone would have paid for it itself.
Yeah, lots.
That way it's see, that for me was that took away the jeopardy of when the game was.
Yeah, but your words were they should have get a separate production company to do it. Yeah, called TNT.
Yeah, whoever. But
TNT did it, I guess. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But if it's not out there simply because TNT didn't do it the way we like them to do it. But we'll know soon enough, won't we? Because there should be an end-to-end thing on YouTube any day now, shouldn't there?
But that's why, but I would have done it before. I would have started at 9 o'clock. I would have made it like cup final, old-fashioned cup final.
We had that chat last week.
Yeah. I would have made it old-fashioned cup there, and had all the players as they were coming in being interviewed live, and then cut to all those pre-cut ex-players. And
what did we have? 70-odd players in the building, so there must be 70-odd interviews out there.
Interviewed them all the day before, the Titanic.
Every single one of them.
Had all your other stuff with like Jodie Comer and all that. Get all those interviews.
You've got content for weeks.
You've got content for days. There's too much content from yesterday. So it's still, if you go online, it's all there. Ask fans for their memories, and you've got loads and loads and loads of stuff for the day. You'd never run out of stuff yesterday if you were doing it. And then when you get to the last part after the match, you're ready to
just sums. Interview all those players for 5 minutes. That's 6 hours of content.
Yeah.
Just on interviews before you do them physically arriving. That's what I mean. There's weeks of just dripping them out over weeks.
Oh yeah. TNT cancelled the scheduled stream and started a new one. Took me 2 minutes to find it.
Oh, this is the YouTube stuff.
Gary Ward, there was nothing on post game on Peacock, even though Peacock promised it, because I've seen those. I've seen those links. I've seen those links, and that's what happens, unfortunately, when you rely on other people that
if it's outside your control,
don't have your best interests at heart. And I think again that must be a lesson, but the lesson is too late because it could only happen once. So if Everton decide to make the first game of the season a big deal, please. Just do it on YouTube. Bring a production company in and go heavy on it. Make it our thing. So Evertonians all around the world. And do you know what? If people aren't Evertonians and want to see the new stadium, if they start subscribing, liking your YouTube channel, then that's going to push the YouTube channel. And all those adverts that you get, is income. And it's also where you can show off your sponsors. And it's where you can have all day Hill Dickinson will be. We will be hitting people over the head with Hill Dickinson till the cows come home.
Yeah.
And you have loads of shots if that branding goes up of the stadium. And Yanks will love it because it looks like an NFL stadium with all that branding on it. It look to them, it looks like that's the difference with the name. The
CGI.
But the reaction from some Everton fans is one of like, blah, blah, blah. But Americans are just like, it's Friday, innit? Because they're used to seeing these stadiums with all that branding and being called after a bank, after AT&T, after whoever. It's old hat for them.
Yeah.
So they don't. So those pitches look like an NFL stadium. So if you keep on referring, most people are like, yeah.
But then you do the deal with the sponsor. That means you get more money with the hits that all that content's going to have by country. Yeah. Which of the countries you want to promote your business in? Look at all these hits you get.
Well, of course, because that's the thing also about YouTube.
Channel or whatever.
But YouTube also as a thing is obviously the adverts are geo-specific anyway, or personal for personal. So Everton by having control, and that is something they can control. I don't know the full ins and outs of all the rights and all that kind of thing, but going forward, that's something Everton should start utilising. Stop relying on other people. You just mentioned there, Sky put a fantastic documentary out. Do they put that documentary out if Alan Myers isn't at Sky?
If an Evertonian
who's got that black book. Who's got that black book?
Yeah,
do Sky put a documentary out that good?
No.
So
the versions are different between.
Well, they are because the versions are different
copyright
because of the content.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So every platform
almost got it.
Yeah.
Content and infringements cut off.
Yeah.
So they can only...
But if Everton, this is one of the things I want to see. I want to see Everton start taking control.
Yeah.
Because this is what Liverpool have been doing for years. They've took control of their content and they've monetized it. And obviously they have their own channel. And I'm not suggesting Everton need their own channel. What I'm saying is, while you've got YouTube, somewhere to put it, but you also have somewhere on your website where season ticket holders can get stuff. Stop doing that.
The key word there, Ped, is control.
Yeah.
Not production.
Yeah.
You don't need to do it yourself.
Yeah. You get a production company
but you control it.
Yeah.
You control it.
That's it. And I think that's it.
To your narrative, and the narrative might be different in different countries and all that sort of stuff, but control is key.
Yeah.
Not production.
Production on these things it's always
third party specialists.
It's always third party. It's always someone outside. I imagine everything that got done yesterday was done with an outside production company.
Yeah, defo.
You know, all that would have been done by a specialist. All the timings, the fireworks, everything. Darren Giffords wasn't setting the fireworks off, was he? You know, it's he didn't come out the gantry and set them off. It would have been done by a specialist production company. It would have been done by a specialist production company.
Of course.
But what you want to do is almost have people who work for the football club who understand that side of things as well.
Because they're the people who are exercising the control.
And that's where maybe the producer comes in. The producer saying, slow this down. And maybe that's a thing of like someone's being told this has to be done by 3 o'clock and therefore it has to be sped up. Whereas really yesterday should have been a lot slower.
But when they were prepping, after the game had finished, there was lots of physical running around. Like they knew we have to have this bit done by this time, which might suggest why they weren't modifying the schedule as they went.
And that's the only thing I found a bit weird yesterday was.
So who was the director?
There was no,
sort of orchestrating it all.
I don't understand why they needed everybody out of the stadium by a certain time.
No.
Someone probably come on and go, well, there's this licensing thing, or the police said we blah 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 or whatever. I think the streets were still pretty full for a very very long time after. So Rob D Belfast Toffee says the full version was on TNT Sports 7. There you go.
Live.
That was like basically that's where the red button. That's the red button.
Oh, that's the.
So you go on the red button, then it would be on.
It takes you to there.
It'd take you to there.
But all of it, not so the cutover which you just criticised wasn't right. It was okay. All of it's there.
That would be on Discovery Plus.
Oh right.
So but the YouTube one was only, as I said,
from a set point.
Oh, got it. That hasn't been fixed. They need.
So they have the content.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So they can put it out now.
Upload the full version.
Yeah. Which is where we go back around that block again. Can they with YouTube replace the one they already have there, which hasn't got the whole stuff, with the one that will be all of it? And then we'll all go and watch it, won't we? Because guess what? 40-ish thousand of us couldn't see it anyway because we were there. And we might want to watch it back.
Dave's final programme is on his way to him. There you go. He's on. It's on.
John asked before, so it says, I've just got an email saying they're all out, but unprecedented demand.
Allow 5 days for Royal Mail.
What's this?
The programme.
Yeah, no. I emailed Reach. It's ridiculous. And if they're using Royal Mail, it won't bloody arrive anyway.
Yeah.
And I go on holiday in, 8-9 days, so it'll arrive while I'm on holiday.
Oh, there you go.
5 days, John, calm down.
5 days from when?
John's experience with Royal Mail is...
Royal Mail deliver to my house when they feel like it.
There you go.
Doesn't matter whether it's signed or not. They do what they want.
There you go.
And if you complain to them, they come back and they say, we've investigated... sorted, and you say, what was the issue? What are you going to do about it? And they just say, oh, we don't tell you. Just,
This is a broadcast message to Postman Pat.
Yeah. Mate.
And his black and white cat.
Listen, let's just open the floor for people who've suffered at Royal Mail's Do you know,
someone just asked
they're
me
awful.
Someone just asked me that Forever Everton set me off. Had loads of things set me off in the day. I'm not bothered. But the only thing but we didn't do proper we didn't do proper Forever Everton. It sort of stopped, and then they all started singing Everton. I was like, no, sing the full version. That's what we've been doing for ages. So I was a little bit disappointed by that, but there you go. Right, we're going. We'll be back. I think it's about 4:30 for the final word on Toffee TV Premier. If you're not a Premier member, why?
You better get over now.
Why aren't you?
More of this.
I've stopped looking at the numbers on YouTube. I'm going to start looking at the Toffee TV Premier numbers now.
100,000 on there.
I mean, I'm not being funny. If we reach 100,000, I'll be looking on a beach. That's where I'll be. I will be on a beach. What going? Numbers are not high enough. John's cracked the whip, and John's like on a beach in Florida going, yeah, I'll just get someone else
No,
on
Pacific
that.
somewhere.
Oh, fair enough, yeah.
Or Indian Ocean.
Fit. The Maldives.
I like the Maldives. Seychelles.
Seychelles, fair enough, yeah. I haven't been to the Seychelles yet. It's on the
your
list.
list,
It's on the list. I mean, it's a long list.
Fiji's nice. Go to Fiji.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's a fair old flight, like, you know.
Yeah, but why would you take a flight? Let's just go slow.
Okay, have you got months, yeah?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's just take
you're
our...
talking when you're mega wealthy, yeah?
Let's just take
The
our...
Grand Tour.
Let's take our... So
Do
that's
a Grand
broad... To another words, I want to see those Premier member numbers starting to go up with all that extra content. It's a very exciting time to be an Evertonian. David Moyes just basically... The manifesto got set yesterday. This club, if the Friedkins have got the money they say they have, then this club is going up there. Supersonic, as I've told a bunch of lads last night. And they all started going, wow, supersonic. That's basically what they all started doing. They suddenly just they had these coats came out from nowhere.
They went full on monk, did they?
So I'm going to stop looking and obsessing about the subscribers on YouTube. It's the Toffee TV Premier members I'm going to get. So that starts going up. Loads of live content. Exclusives, no ads, podcasts, merchandise, discounts, all of it. Why wouldn't you?
Discord,
your own Discord. There's loads of stuff. And so come and join us over at Toffee TV Premium member. It's less than a coffee or a pint, whichever one you prefer. It's half the price of a pie. I bought at Bramley Moore. Sorry, Hill Dickens. Sorry. Old habits die hard.
HD.
Hey, no, you can't. You can't call it the HD.
I'm calling it
You can't call it the HD.
That's
HD
like the
stadium.
Ev, isn't it?
The 4K stadium, James.
It's not 4K has no relation to Hill Dickinson.
Well, you can't. The HD doesn't.
While you're on this channel, media have been asked to call it the Hill Dickinson Stadium.
Yeah.
So,
It's the Everton
And
Stadium.
that includes independent media. So you can't call it the HD. You just can't.
He's looking at you like...
James, on this channel we
He's
have
about to say you'll
James,
do as you're told.
no,
You know that, don't
No,
you?
I wasn't. I was just going to say, at this channel we have a level of professionalism that must be...
And you've never went against it.
Must be adhered to.
That's woeful.
Must be adhered. That professionalism must be adhered to here, James. I'm afraid to. And that also goes down to what kind of socks you're wearing with trainers. That's not a person. That's not on. That's not on
The
you.
white socks.
But I'm just going to say that.
White sock, black trainer man said that. Remember?
Mate, that was a running day. That was a running day. Right, there we go.
So you were a running man, were you?
Yeah. I
Can you imagine him in Lycra though?
It's silly doing 10 miles on Saturday in that heat.
Yeah.
But there you go. Seen some nice people in Boxy outside the ground. Seen a few good people outside the ground.
Is that there?
Yeah, it was. Right, Toffee TV Premium members, come on. Get it
Wait,
up.
there's a super chat you haven't read out.
Well, I'm not seeing it. Do you want to read it out for me?
Adam Hockenberry says, huge congrats on 100k. Such a pivotal week. I moved out to Cali last year and I was ended up...
Cali or
Cali.
Cali, how's that spelled?
C-A-L-I.
So it's California, eh?
Cali, yeah. But is that Mexico Cali or America Cali?
He was crying. He was up crying his eyes out at 4 a.m. I'm so grateful that I found Everton, and you guys must know that you helped me make me a blue.
Way, well done, that man.
Brilliant.
Because he must have watched you, Baz. Yeah.
Nah, we convinced them. Is he a Premier member though?
I don't know.
Well, I think he's only halfway. He's only got half a foot in the door, isn't he? It's not a Premier member. I mean, he moved to if you move to California, the prices over there are nuts. Cup of coffee over there is about £12.
How much are those super chats?
That was $10. That one.
Oh, we could have had a couple of months of Premier
I
for
wouldn't
that.
have outed them. I wouldn't have outed them, but there you go.
Could have had a couple of months
comes
of
up,
Premier
doesn't
for that.
What?
Comes up how much a super chat?
I know it is, but I wouldn't.
We
I wouldn't
just
have
told him.
I wouldn't on us. I think it does. I don't think it does in the public. Okay, who cares? They wouldn't have outed them. Someone said the other day it was £7 for a cup of coffee in New York. So God knows what it is. Yeah.
Baz has just thought, well, we're not going there then.
Not in the hotel. It's not.
It's 15 there.
He said you'll get back on it. It's mad expensive out here.
It is. California is redunculous. Honestly, it's because they're all.
What's Dunk got to do with it?
Redunculous it is. The West Coast. I mean, San Francisco's even worse. San Francisco is even more worse. So if you've got enough money to live in California or New York, you can easily afford coming on here.
He'll get back on it.
You better get back on it.
That means he was honoured and left, though.
Oh.
That's because he moved to California and he had to start cutting expenses.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it anyway. Right, 4:30. Final word. Get over there. See you all later.
Take care.